a helm of
Just so you know, guys, we are live.
That's cool.
Yeah, alignment changing. So he's changed from a lawful evil to a lawful good character. Can't remember what it was. I think it was a bugbear something or other. Fighter bug. Yeah, bugbear. But he'd been changed from lawful evil to lawful good, so he was running around doing all this good stuff instead. I was just sitting there going, until someone knocked his helmet off, and then he killed all the party. Just went, I know you guys.
What's up, chat? And welcome to another Sunday D&D session. Homebrew Campaign Paradigm Vault to episode 63, I believe. The aftermath of Alice's birthday party. But a lot of fun last week. The Curse to Stride campaign went very well on Wednesday as well. For those of you who were here for that, again, we thank you for joining us. It was a great session. We had a lot of fun with that. That's progressing very well. A lot better than I thought it was going to. So I'm pleased about that. Don't think we have any other announcements for this week. I'm not working till Saturday this week, so maybe some game streams throughout the week. So keep an eye out for that. Apart from that, I think that's about it. Unless you guys have got things you want to say, anything you want to talk about before we get started. Silent.
Nope. Looks like Jed are getting echoes though.
Is there an echo? Yes, there will be. Now there won't be. It's gone.
Good.
You can't use your commands because I've turned them all off. I've figured out a way to turn them all off.
Silence! Kill you. There you go, have some.
Trash, that doesn't even work.
Oh, trash.
Have to wait for the gaming ones. I figured out what was causing it.
Care, I'll keep doing it every time I see her.
They could do it, it's just not going to do anything. Those are gaming commands and gaming commands only, and now they work only on the gaming scene, which I finally figured it out. But yeah, so without any further delay, let's jump into tonight's session with our recap from last week. So, when the music kicks in, quiet, bring it up a little bit. So last week, when we left Earth, you had all started the day with a certain member of the party having a nasty reaction to a cup of coffee. But after dealing with this situation in the way that we all know that was dealt with the evacuation of nether regions being fixed by a lesser restoration spell, Namaris returns from the guild hall and Head explains to the group that he had scryed on Thorfey and that he believes Thorfey is alive and possibly in the far south or maybe on a different plane of existence. He's not 100% sure. With a bit of discussion back and forward, the three girls decided that for decorations they're going to go looking for some special frogs that Namaris knew about from her childhood and some vines to decorate the guild hall. With that, they left, and Het and Sadiq head into the city to organise the clothing for themselves. Het to adjust his own suit, and Sadiq to adjust his suit, and Het to purchase one. With that, you also head to the Arcanist looking for some books after procuring your suit order. Ali after dealing with the girls catching their frogs and collecting the vines, decided she was going to head back to the guild house, but on her way back she made a detour heading towards the docks, where she purchased a bucket of fish innards in an attempt to retaliate against Het, who seemed to be the culprit for her initial start for the day. Fiala inadvertently dropping Het in it. Gets back to the guild house, proceeds to cover herself in fish guts as she tried to prop the bucket on a door, which didn't quite work out too well, but instead hiding a handful of entrails in one of Het's drawers at the back. During the days before Ellie's party, Neymaris rejoins the Order of the Helm as a paladin, being accepted back into the order. That evening, Het gives a gift of a pearl necklace to Fiala, and during that time also discovering the gift that was left by Alexandros during the earlier hours of that day. Moving forward, the morning of Ellie's party, it was discussed ways to keep her at the party because everyone was pretty certain that she was going to try and escape. Sadiq had been doing some research and come up with an interesting device borrowed from the city guard, a anklet of sorts that once applied was unable to be tampered with until it was released by the application or the applier, which was coupled with a metal spike, which was driven into the ground or the floor, tethering said person to its location within a certain range. Neymaris and Fiala made sure that it made its way to Alessandros' ankle with a little bit of intimidation, but it was applied. The party begins, and you all descended the stairs to the guild hall in your finest of clothing. Alessandros in her red dress, Neymaris in her pink fluffy bits, Fiala in the elegant white and silver dress that she had found, Sadiq and Het in the suits of their choosing. A few unexpected guests, however. As you sort of mingled and arrived, you noticed an ally of yours, a half-orc gentleman by the name of Bash, had made his way to the guild hall after hearing about the party with a letter from another ally and an old friend, Aslan. The party goes relatively well. Many drinks were had. Eventually, Ellie does try to make an exit, but the ring was activated, preventing her from leaving the area of the guild. Eventually she does though make it outside and passes out under the full moon with her new bow. The rest of you eventually find your way to your rooms. Het visits Fiala once again and asks if she would like to who she would like to scry on, if anyone. Kosis was chosen, and Het holds Scully up with the scrying eye in his mouth and proceeds to concentrate on Kosis. He does indeed find Kosis in an unfamiliar castle keep, where he is looking at a map which appears to be the map of Paradigm, although slightly unclear. After talking to someone out of focus and hearing the voice of that person, Kosis turns and looks directly at Het and forces him out of the scry with an extremely painful attack through the scry. Het and Fiala recover from this. Fiala heals Het with an amazingly massive heal, bringing him back to full health, but the effects were still noticeable. The bloodshot eyes, the bleeding nose. It was a very damaging attack. Sent Het 15-20 feet across the room. We rejoin our crew now, still in the same evening, as Het has just asked Ildri a question. What is going on? People have noticed you're acting strange. And this is where we rejoin Het and Fiala Ildry, as they are in Ildry's room. The icy interior, which has been transformed by Ildry over the past week or so, it seems. Icicles hand thick from the ceilings. The furniture is generally okay. It's not covering the bed or anything like that, but the floors, the walls, the ceilings have all been coated in ice, not unlike her lair, creating a atmosphere all its own.
Ildry, what is going on in here?
Well, I mean, you get me all these beautiful things all the time. And I decided to get you something, but it's going to take a while kind of to make. So I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems fair. I'm sorry if I ruined yours. It's so icy chill in here, and it's very comforting.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Unusual. I hope we don't get sued by the owner.
Oh, I can pay for it. We can remodel the whole place if he wants to.
Oh, we could call it the Ice Palace.
Maybe just the room.
Oh,
Maybe I
just the
should
room?
move to the cellar if it might not damage the wood and everything.
Maybe we just take this place over.
Oh, that's true.
It is our guild house. Well, I suppose we don't really run it anymore, but maybe we just make our own ice palace.
Yeah. So I kind of have to regulate the temperature constantly while we travel, but it should be ready before maybe the last battle, I think.
All right, will you let me know if you need help with cooling things down? I'm good with the chill, you know.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Right, anyway, I shall leave you to it. I'll head off to bed if there's nothing more.
Are you sure you're okay? You still kind of nosebleed and everything.
Yeah, my head is ringing a little bit. I shall wipe this from my nose. I'll go and clean up and get some sleep. At least we got a small answer then.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about it in the morning with the team.
We really did waste that scry, though.
Mm,
We should have scried on Ellie.
yeah, well, she's kind of passed out in the yard, I think, so...
Yeah, I guess it would have been boring scrying her laying there doing nothing. Oh well, never mind. Good night, Ildry.
Good night.
And Hit steps out.
Hit leaves Ildry to her frozen room and heads to his own, where the fishy smell is still hanging thick in the air. Even though you have removed the entrails from the drawer, the smell is still around. It doesn't really faze you, Hit. I mean, you like raw meat, raw fish, doesn't matter, any kind of raw. So it almost helps you go to sleep.
Reminds me of that halfling girl I was once with.
And with that, you all sleep away the evening. You'll gain the benefits of a long rest. And in the morning, I would say Ellie's probably the first to awake as she is outside. This day is not a sunny day. It's It's kind of cloudy. Unnaturally so, though. It's a weird kind of feeling as you wake with the spatter of raindrops falling on your forehead and face. And you sort of slowly sit up. You have a pounding headache. You drank far too much the night before, far more than you usually do, and you are definitely not used to it. You're feeling ill, very, very hungover. But the first thing you notice as you sit up, still in your red dress, have a blanket over you, which is you've sort of thrown half off during the evening. Your bow's in your hand, and you know that you needed to attune to it under the full moon. You know it was a full moon last night. You are outside. What do you wish to do? And you are in the training area.
So I look at the bow and go, I imitate pulling the string back.
The moment you reach forward and, like, because you've not fired it before, you go to do what you'd normally do with a bow, roughly where you think the string would be, you go to draw it back. The moment you pull back, a radiant bowstring appears in your fingers, and the moment it appears, you feel the draw weight. Draw it right back to your cheek, and the moment you get to full draw, an arrow also appears. Full radiant energy. Brilliant white, yellow, white sort of light emanating from the arrow and from the bowstring.
I let it loose at one of the targets.
You do not need to roll to hit. You are steady. I mean, you got a headache and stuff, but you steady yourself, you take a deep breath, and you loose the arrow. Let go of the bowstring, the arrow flies, the bowstring disappears, and the arrow strikes the target. And immediately as it hits the target, a flash of radiant energy bursts forth and sets the target alight, as it is a straw target. And it sort of hits with a loud cracking sound as the energy gives off and explodes as it hits a target too. I would say everyone from inside the guild hall would probably hear that cracking energy as it strikes the target as well. It is very loud.
I'm going to enjoy this.
So those of you that were sleeping, because your rooms do overlook the training ground, you are probably awoken with a bit of a start as this cracking sound can be heard from the exterior of the guild hall.
That would wake me up.
It would wake everybody up.
I'll peer out the window.
As you look down through the dirty, not dirty windows, but it's that mottled sort of glass. It's not clear glass like you'd get today. It's a real mottled glass window. You can sort of make out the outline of a person down in the training ground. You can see the red, so you can only assume that it's Elishandros. But you do see the flaming target as you look out your window.
Can I open the window like shutters, or how does
yes,
it open?
They open like shutters. They're all your windows open out into the yard.
I will open up and go, Ellie, some of us are trying to sleep.
And with that, I do another arrow.
Remember to mark off your arrows because you only have 50.
At this point, I am going to get out of my bed and go down the stairs and into the yard.
You make your way down and out as you make your way down and out, as you breach the door into the yard, Ellie is drawing her second shot, and you would see it as well.
Tackle her.
You're gonna tackle her? What for?
Because I think something's attacking her. That was the noise. I wasn't quite sure. I'm trying to jump on her to get her out of the way.
Okay.
Be like, Allie, there's something out here, and I run and I jump on her to the ground.
Make a dexterity check. Oh no, tackling strength. Sorry, strength.
And I'm like, oh, they're wrestling.
With that, can I do invasion because
no, because you'd have your back behind. You'd have your back to her though.
But I can't be surprised.
True, because you've got the alert feat, don't you?
Yes.
Make a dex. Won't use evasion. Just make a dex save with advantage. You don't need to really evade it.
I rolled a 22.
You can beat a 22 with your dex save.
Yeah, she got me.
Even with advantage, you're joking.
I got an 18. That was the highest one.
Wow, dude.
I rolled a 10.
your rolls are shit. Even when you get advantage. We need to get this guy some new dice, people. So she does manage to grab you. Unfortunately, as you are tackled by Damaris, you release the arrow. I need No, I will roll it. I'm going to roll dice here to see in which direction the arrow flies. North is the target. East and west will be the wall on the outside of the guild hall, the outside of the training ground. South will be towards Het's window. Het, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh, that is wonderful.
As this bright, as you are tackled, Alessandro, you spun around and you release the arrow and it fires straight up at the window where Het, well, towards that direction. You're not sure what's happening, Het, but you will dive out of the way. What is your dex save, sir?
19 plus 0 is 19.
19. So it does not come through your window, but it strikes the wall a foot to the left of your window. But it makes a loud cracking sound, and the burst of radiant energy doesn't set this hearty timbers and clays alight, as it's generally this building is quite sturdy construction. But it does give you a hoover fright.
Whoa! Holy crap!
Now, Maris, you are now sort of half pie on top of Alessandros, looking around for anything to kill or beat up, and there's nothing around.
Did that make a really loud noise, did you say?
Yes, it did.
I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you.
Not that
Get
loud.
off me!
It was loud, but not that loud.
What are you doing? Get off!
I thought you were being attacked, so I thought I'd better, cover you.
Thank you.
This team, man. I'm surprised you guys have survived this long.
I know, right? Look, I surveyed the area to see where that second arrow went.
As you're lying there, you look around, you look up, you see a big scorch mark right next to Het's window.
Oops. Sorry, Het!
Het just goes and pulls the shutters and goes back to bed.
I'm gonna take Ali inside for some coffee.
And after some time, eventually you would all arise and join each other in the guild hall, which has been somewhat cleaned up. Seth has done pretty much everything. There's a few things still lying around that he was going to get to in the morning, but for the most part, it's been cleaned up. Breakfast is supplied. Coffee, lots and lots of coffee has been set up. Breakfasts, all of you. I'm assuming Sadiq's going to go straight for the meat again, because that's what Sadiq does. And but for those of you that want coffee, there's coffee. For those that you want something else, you were able to get it. A hearty breakfast is prepared. Is there anything you wish to discuss over breakfast?
Well,
So, what are we going to do, guys? It's like 4 weeks until the full moon.
I reckon that we should
Bit
go
longer
to
than
the
that.
arena.
The arena.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's right. You want to get your title back.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you would know you've still got 3 weeks to wait before you can do that.
Oh, damn it. But wait, I've got 3 weeks before I can do that, so that's like...
And it's closer.
That's 1 out of
It's
4.
closer to 8 weeks till the blood moon.
4 weeks sounded so.
It did sound kind of cool, but we want to draw things out a little bit longer than that.
Maybe we need to go and see what available tasks there are.
I think we do, because idle hands and all that. And Ellie's already tried to destroy the guild hall with a new bow. And yeah, I think we need Ellie to walk into some more traps.
Yeah, we did scry on Kosis last night.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Didn't go very well.
Actually,
Well-
my head is still sore a little.
Its eyes are still very bloodshot too. Even
I
with the
would've
heal, the blood vessels in your eyes have still look pretty damaged.
I would have just thought that was the alcoholism.
Wrong character.
Well, no, you were drinking last night.
Oh yeah, I was.
So, I would have just thought it would be from the alcohol from last night.
Yeah. Sorry,
Ah.
but it's not.
Okay, so what did you see
I saw, what I believe to be was Kosis. It was a hazy vision, but it was Kosis in his human form, standing at a table, looking over maps. I believe it was Paradigm, but it was very, very hazy. And then someone out of vision, in a raspy sort of voice, he was talking to someone, giving him a command, basically telling his army, or getting his army ready to strike within the week, or something ready to strike within a week. And that is about the gist of it before he knew I was there and was able to damage me on the other side of the viewing portal, or whatever it is that happens.
So within a week, so that can't be here.
Well, I wouldn't assume so. We don't know where, I guess. We would have to maybe do some research. Maybe Coram might know something about where a popular place to strike would be.
Or a way to weaken the city from, like, supply chain to the city, maybe? That type of a thing?
Could be. Yodra, you know Kosis. Well, you knew Kosis. Do you think he would be trying to cut Paradigm off? Or, sorry, Voland off?
What would I be? Would I roll some
roll
insight
history.
or something? Okay.
Roll an advantage too, because you knew Kosis very well.
Good, because that was a nat one.
And the fact that you were kind of privy to his first lot of actions when he first started 200 years ago. So
17.
17. So the things that you know about Kosis is A, he's very intelligent. B, he is a very knowledgeable soldier. Before he started to turn, as it were, he was a general in the Conclave's armies. So he was a very shrewd tactician. He knew how to weaken enemy forces and things like that. So there is a chance that he will either be A, looking at cutting off supply chains, or B, trying to weaken the city by mounting attacks on the city itself.
He's a very strong tactician, so I would assume that he's either doing supply chains or maybe striking a weaker part of the city. It would be beneficial if we went to see Coram, though, and asked where those places might be. Maybe we can narrow it down within the week.
And as at this moment, you hear the first of the alert horns being blown in the eastern part of the city. Seconds later, another one, and another, and then another.
Shit.
The alert horns are being blown all over the city, north, south, north and east and west. Nothing so much in the south, but it seems to be all the land side of Voland. What are you doing?
Hit grabs his equipment, stands up. Let's go.
I'm racing upstairs so I can get into my armor.
It'll take you 10 minutes to retrieve your armor, but if you guys want to take the 10 minutes or so, that's fine. As you all eventually exit out of the guild house, which I would assume would be at some haste, weapons and armor.
I have a slight problem. I can't get out of the guild hall.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I don't.
Ali gets to the door and can't go any further.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Guys,
do you-
hello, guys.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Ellie? Let's go. Come on. let's go.
Sadiq!
What?
This is an important time. We are in a hurry.
Alright, I'll go take the thing off her leg.
Sadiq removes the ring. I dare say you retrieve the spike as well.
Those
Yeah, well, you need to use the spike to
Those-
take the ring off anyway. So.
two that I'm not happy. They tricked me.
They did. And with that, as you eventually exit the guild house, you see a lot of the city guard. They are scattering. People are running around in panic, heading to their homes. And a patrol rushes past. One of them stops and sort of says, "You there, North Gate. Need some help at the North Gate." And he
Right,
just takes off again.
Siddiqui, gonna lead us north then. I have a compass. I can show you the way.
I think we know where the North Gate is headed.
Alright.
Yeah, north is that way, isn't it?
That way? Are we going
I
that way?
thought it was a distant. I thought it was that way. Where's that way?
It's over there. Well, no.
We head to the north gate.
You indeed head to the North Gate. And on the map there, the North Gate is obviously in the north. This is in this general area here. You head to the North Gate. As you approach the North Gate, it doesn't take you long to get there. You do run. The guild house is a reasonable distance away, so it will take you a little bit, but if you keep a good pace, it won't take you long to get there. You do notice, as you are heading towards the North Gate, however, a thick fog seems to be blanketing the city and the surrounding areas, which is unusual for this time of year and for this hour of the morning. But you don't really perhaps too much mind at this point. The horns of alert are sounding across the city. You reach the North Gate, and the captain of the gate he's shouting orders left and right. "You up there, get onto that ballista there. You watch the gate, make sure the gate does not fall." And then he sort of turns looking around. "You there, make sure those people get indoors. Lions! Man, the two ballista at the top of the gate!" And it's at that moment you hear the beating of wings, large wings from a distance. And you see the shadow of what looks like almost dragon-like, but a lot thinner. You can roll a history check if you wish to try and figure out what it is. You can't get a real clear view, but you may, if you are proficient in history, you can roll a history check, sorry. If you're not proficient, at disadvantage.
24.
24? So
Oh, damn it, I got a nat 20. So that makes a 19.
Anybody else?
17 for hit.
17?
I just
hang
got
on.
11. I got 11.
11?
I got 8, so don't bother.
15 or higher?
And then I got a nat 1, so it's a 0.
Oh, so you're at disadvantage here. Okay, so
Yeah.
15 or higher, so that'll be Hit and Sadiq. You both sort of look up as you hear the sound, and you see this creature fly above, just through the mist, and then fly off to the northeast. And Sadiq, you think, shit, wyvern. And Hit, you've heard your father talk about them. You've never seen one before, but you know what they look like. You've seen pictures, and it is definitely a wyvern as far as you're aware. So you have two ballista between you. Who is going to the left and who is going to the right?
How many?
Left.
I'll go right.
Left.
Okay, right. How many of us are needed to use the ballista?
It will take 3 of you, but the side that has only 2, you will have a city guardsman with you. So we got, who is going right, sorry?
Me.
The Ellie and Namaris to the right, the rest to the left, then I'm assuming?
Correct.
Or Fiala, what are you doing at this point? Are you going to join them, or are you going to do something different?
I was thinking of picking one of them up, becoming a rock, and seeing if they could land on the wyvern.
Discuss it. You got 6 seconds before you need to do something.
I was thinking of becoming a rock and seeing if one of you could land on the wyvern. What do you say?
I was thinking, are we okay to take this down? It's dragon-like.
Not as big as a dragon, but definitely dragonkin.
I
I
could
say
pro-
grab alley.
yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna transform into rock and grab Ellie. with my talons.
And you take off into the air. Okay. So that leaves 3 of you. So Namaris is on the
Right.
right-hand ballista on his on her own. So City, you will need to enlist the aid of 2 guardsmen as you head up to the
Come
catwalks.
with me, boys.
And Het and Sadiq, you would need to enlist the help of 1 guardsman. So that's fine.
I take it you've got me a bit around me waist, Fiona?
If so, you're kind of sideways. So yeah.
As they fly off, he says, I hope that wyvern doesn't have paralyzed breath.
Once you reach the city walls and reach your ballistas, you notice that these ballista are not your typical ballista. They have been constructed of a heavier material, steel, hammered steel and hard timbers. They have several wheels on them, so they're not strength powered to load. They're done using a series of crank handles by the look, so it would only take 1 of you to load it. However, it will take some effort, and for every hour that you spend on a ballista, you will gain 1 level of exhaustion through the expenditure of strength. So it'll be up to you which one of you is on Het and Sadiq, which one of you choose to do that, because that will be literally drawing the ballista to fire it and using the firing mechanism. The other will help aim along with the city guard. Namaris, you don't get a choice; you have to man it, and the guardsmen with you will help load and aim. So Het and Sadiq, which one of you will be utilizing the trigger device?
It can trigger it, and I'll load it.
Yeah, good idea. I'm not very strong when it comes to that sort of thing.
Okie dokie. So, we just had a bunch of luck dropped.
All right.
So we've got Alashana, Sadiq, and Het all have luck. So make sure you have that. So that'll give you a D10 on an attack roll. Not an attack roll, a D10 on an ability check or a save. And Namaris as well.
Can you just repeat that last bit? Because I just heard, and then the city guard will, because I muted myself by accident.
When you muted me.
Thank you, Cam.
So you will have to fire you're firing the ballista and drawing the thing. So you'll be making the. I'll say for every hour that you're up here, you will gain a level of exhaustion.
Thanks, Roasted.
Yeah, okay.
So, as you reach the parapet of the outer city walls and the I can't think the catwalks on top of the city walls, and you've got the typical castle style parapets where you can look down over, and you've got little gaps to look through. As you look out, you can see more of these winged creatures crisscrossing across the sky, and at that moment a large fireball comes out of the mist from the sky, strikes a building behind you, destroying it completely. Very large fireball indeed. With that, you then feel the city walls shake and rumble, and as you look down from your position, you notice several large hairy beasts. Look like they're probably 12 or 14 feet tall, almost as wide through the shoulder, and they're just slamming into the city wall. And every time they hit the city wall, the walls shake, and you can feel it under feet. It's not strong enough to knock you over, but it definitely has a bit of an issue. He can't give Adok fucking inspiration. He's not in this campaign. Fiela and Alessandros, as you take flight, Fiela, you'll be using the rock stats for any checks that you make. So you take off into the air, and find it difficult to see through the fog, even with the rock's vision, but you do manage to see the shadows of these figures, and there's a lot of them. There's maybe 2 dozen of these winged creatures in the sky, and as you go out over the city walls, you then notice the large beast-like creatures attacking the city wall, and there looks to be several of them as well. As you fly out further out around the city, what are you specifically doing? Are you doing a bit of a scout run, or are you going to specifically go for a wyvern?
I'm looking for the weakest part that Ellie can either shoot at or whatnot. So,
looking at as you fly out,
strategic view.
You've got wyverns, which like the wyverns are out in front. There's a heap of them there. There's a couple above you. They're sort of sweeping in across the city and just dropping fireballs into the city at random. There doesn't seem to be any kind of strategy to it. It's just almost like a bombing run that is literally almost carpet bombing the city. Every 5 or so minutes, another one swoops in and drops a fireball on the city. You, with your knowledge, roll a intelligence check using your own intelligence, not the rocks, because I think you maintain that anyway when you wild shape. That doesn't look good.
It's not very good. 10.
10. You've never really seen a wyvern before. You're not sure of their weak points. They are fast. Probably be as fast as you, if not faster. You are not 100% sure whether you'd be able to catch one at this point. Alessandros, you're getting battered with wind and all that because she's flying pretty quickly, but you can't really see all too well with the wind in your face and everything, and it is daytime, so you can't really do a whole lot in that respect. So you're kind of just underneath being hung onto by a rock at this point. So with that, we will roll initiative to get an initiative order so that we can run our combat. We're going to roll initiative, 1 for the wyvern, 1 for the beasts.
How do you want to do the ballista?
17 and 8. Be on your initiative. So with whoever's firing, it'll be on their initiative that it's fired, and then it'll be a strength check to load. Well, not really strength check to load, but you'll get the attack roll with advantage. So either one of you can take it. So Sadiq and Het, you'll go on the same initiative. It'll be a whole lot easier. So one of you roll the initiative.
It's 21 for the initiative for Het and Sadiq then.
Okay, so 21 for Het and Sadiq.
Unless Sadiq rolls huge.
Namaris?
I rolled a 12.
And Ildri?
I needed 6.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And Alessandros?
22.
22, nice. 22 for Ali. And wyverns there. And who are we missing? We're not missing anyone. Cool. So, at the top of the order is Alessandros. So, you can't really do a whole lot at this point. You can attempt to do something if you wish. There's probably 1 or maybe 2 wyverns within range of your bow, but you would be firing at disadvantage in your current position.
Yeah. Now, I think we discussed it, I can't remember, but with the arcane shots, I can still use those or can't use those?
You can't use any of your arch type abilities unless you're using a regular bow, so you can't use it with the Apollo's bow.
Okay. Cool. Alright, I'll have a crack at one of them.
So you probably got 1 within range at this point, one that's swooping in towards the city. You'll need to make an attack roll at disadvantage. because you are currently being held under the belly of a rock with its claws, and you're hanging sideways.
24 disadvantage.
Holy shit. That will hit.
You're welcome. All right. With 8 initial, then hang on. I got it. Hang on.
Don't worry about the damage too much. I'm working on a successful hit basis here because there's a lot of them. So you do hit with your first attack. You will get a second attack.
At disadvantage again?
At disadvantage, yes.
22 for a second.
That will miss.
22. Wow.
So you have hit one of your targets. It does do damage. Doesn't seem to knock it off course, but it does stop it from firing its fireball into the city. It sort of breaks off and goes to circle round. With that, we will switch over to Het and Sadiq. You have a choice. Do you fire at the wyverns in the sky or the beasts on the ground?
Just a question before Sadiq fires, or I fire, whatever happens. Am I able to use a bonus action?
You sure can.
As a bonus action, Het pulls his loot forth just before they man the machine, and he sings, "One shot at glory in the crossfire overhead," giving Sadiq Bardic Inspiration 1d8 he can add to one of his next attack rolls or saving throws.
So with the ballista, you get a +8 to hit with the ballista, so you'll be rolling with the ballista stats. All you need to do is hit the creature and it will sustain damage. To kill one of the beasts, you need to hit it twice, and to kill a wyvern, you need to hit it 3 times.
Okay, what are we aiming at, Sadiq?
I'll go the beasts.
Alright. You can make... I rolled initiative if you want to make the firing.
So remember, +8 to hit.
Luckily, I've got a sword that is a +8 to hit too, so it makes life easier. 20, dirty.
Dirty 20 on one of the beasts.
Yep.
That will hit. And you strike the first beast. You wind the wheels, drawing the large bowstring back, which looks like it's made out of leather, and it's plaited leather. It looks like it's probably a dozen or so strands been plaited and then plaited again. It pulls back. You wind those wheels. Takes you a few seconds to wind it back. You wind it back. It clicks into place. You then aim and fire, and it strikes one of the beasts just in the top of the shoulder as you aim it almost directly down over they're set out on a platform so they can aim down as well, and you strike the first beast, and it sort of rocks it backwards from the wall. It looks up and picks up a rock and just hurls it up at you. Doesn't hit you, but it flies up past where you are and then comes back down and lands in behind the wall and hits a small building behind you. But you can see these guys are very strong, and it then smashes its head against the outer wall again, shaking the outer wall, and you can hear that slight cracking of stone as there's probably half a dozen or a dozen of these things scattered in this small area, just attacking this section of the wall. With that, we will then switch over to the wyvern. It is their turn. They will make a bombing run. 3 of them swoop in past you guys, and they come in low just above your heads, and you feel the wind gusts from their wings as they fly in, sending a fireball from their mouths, not unlike a dragon. Not as big, but the 3 come in and they just fire their fireballs and then break off, and it strikes a couple of buildings somewhere within the city, and you hear the impact. And if you turn and look, you'll see the plumes of smoke in different areas where the impact of these fireballs has hits several different buildings and has started fires across the city. You still hear the horns going off. You hear the cries of other soldiers calling out, and you just hear ballista fire just continuous from all across the northeast and the west of the city. Next up is the beasts. And the beast below you, the one you just struck, lets out a very loud roar and then strikes with both fists, shaking the wall violently. And you hear a large cracking sound as it appears that it seems to have broken through the outer layer of stone on the city wall. The city walls are about 25 feet thick, so they're good sturdy walls. But these creatures are strong, and they seem to be making some progress at taking down attempt to take down this wall. Next up is Nemaris, so you'll need to make your roll to hit, please.
What am I rolling for that?
+8, just a d20 +8. So you need to choose your target, a wyvern or a beast on the ground.
Who's hitting? Is it the wyvern? I'm going to go for a
I'm
wyvern.
going to go for a wyvern. So there are wyverns in the sky above you, so you maneuver yourself to get a better position. You point your ballista skyward with the aid of the city guard. You roll to hit.
That one.
A natural 1. Unfortunately, Namaris, you've not seen one of these ballistas before, and you haven't drawn the ballista string.
Can I use that to reroll?
The what? No, luck's a d10.
Oh,
No, luck's a reroll. Yes, sorry.
Oh, I'm rerolling.
So Namaris uses her luck to reroll.
So that would be an 18.
A what now?
18.
That still misses, unfortunately. So you fire it, but it seems to go wide as one of the wyverns sort of dips its wing to one side, and you miss your target. Next up is Ildri. What are you doing now at this point? You've seen the wyverns come in with a bombing run, very quick. You've seen Alessandra strike one. It has done some damage, but not a huge amount.
Can I use a free action to tell Ildri to change into her dragon form?
Can you use a what now?
Free action to
Yeah,
tell
you can yell out to her if you want.
Ildri, change your shape. Need something bigger.
DM, am I allowed to do that?
Well, you've got how many wild? I mean, it's your true
I have
form,
2 wild
so
shapes,
you haven't
yeah.
changed
I
your
just wanna
form.
know.
Your dragon form is not a wild shape; it's a natural thing. So you are able to do that, and you know how long you're able to stay in dragon form now. So up to you.
I'm going to attempt. I'll use my action to change into a dragon, and then my bonus action try and grab. Because I'm assuming I have to let go to change.
No, I wouldn't assume so. You're just changing your forms. The claws, the dragon is way bigger than the rock, so I would imagine that you would still be able to keep her in your claw and just transform around her.
Okay, I'm gonna try and wild shape, and then I'm gonna. I really want to just stick her on my
What
back.
AC is 19,
But I'm afraid. So.
Mr. Sadiq?
I was just saying, was the 18 missed?
Yes, the 18 missed. Its AC's not 19.
It's just one away.
Ali also missed with a 20. So
I'm gonna wild shape, and I'm gonna try and flip her on my back. Hopefully.
you're going to try and chuck her up onto your back?
I'm gonna try.
What you can do is drop me, then come in under me, because I do have the ring still on.
You got 6 seconds, so the
I'm gonna
decision's
try
been
and do
made.
Okay.
So you're going to throw Ellie up in the air and then attempt to catch her. So I will get you to make a dexterity check with your dragon stance.
Dragon. Okay.
Because it'll be, I'd assume be like you'd toss her up, then do a barrel roll and attempt to have her land on you. A dex save from Alessandra's too.
Well, that's good. It's 18.
So you'll definitely be able to get yourself in the right position. It's whether Alessandra should be able to hang on is the issue here.
15.
15? Lucky. That's what I set the DC at. So as you drop with featherfall still, so it's not a plummet, but you're able to position yourself in such a way that you are able to grab onto Ildri as she transforms into the white drake and positions herself beneath you. So that was your action. we'll say you're flying around to put yourself in position for an attack. Does LG have a bonus action that she can use? I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it for you.
Now I'm just going to fly and position myself.
Okay.
And that's...
So we're now back to you, Alashondras. You are now aboard on the back of a large white dragon, and put you in a better position to see, so your roll will not be at disadvantage. You'll be able to get a straight roll at there are currently 3 wyvern in your range, looking like attacking
see the ones
city.
that hit?
No, not at this point. The fog is pretty thick, and they just seem to be flying in past you as they go on their bombing runs.
Alright, so 26 to hit.
It hits.
Do you want me to roll damage?
No, don't worry about it. So that's another hit there. So with that one, you strike this one. Well, it was 26. We're going to say you strike it just below the nape of the neck, and it seems to do enough damage where it sends it plummeting into the city, where it smashes into a building. You're not sure if it's dead or not, but it seems to be taken out of the sky.
And 14 for the second roll.
That will miss, unfortunately. Now back to Het and Sadiq. Your target of choice, please.
Should we aim at the same one, Sadiq?
Yeah, we'll do ground.
Alright,
Ground again?
Before you fire, how far away is the creature on the ground that we're firing at?
The walls are 45 to 50 feet tall, so anywhere within that range. So
Okay,
probably 50,
can I
50
use
feet.
spiritual weapon as my bonus action?
You can.
Alright, Scully, show him the Book of Souls. I'm gonna
And
put the
Het's
Book of Souls
large
above him.
book of souls. We're not got a battle map tonight because of the nature of the attack, but just so you guys can see it, this is the Book of Souls, which Baz created. Some of you may recognize that book. Oops, gone out of focus here. So that is the Book of Souls. You may attack with the Book of Souls if you wish.
Excellent. Oh, it's good. 18 plus 8 is 26.
That does hit, and as the Book of Souls strikes down hard on the face of this large beast, its knees buckle and it seems to fall as it is struck for the second time.
Alright, Sadiq, fire away.
You choose another ground target.
Yeah, go another ground target.
You spin to the next closest target and you fire. By the way, the Bliss have a range of 200 feet, so you're pretty good with range. So plus 8 to hit.
21.
21. That does hit. And so it's another hit on another target. You start to wind the ballista back to refire it. Now over to the wyvern. The next lot of wyvern come in. I need Namaris. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, as this wyvern fireball is in your direction.
13.
That is a failure. Both the guards fail also. You all take 24 points of fire damage as the large fireball hits the catwalk. The ballista takes a little bit of damage as well, but it doesn't look like it has suffered any major catastrophic damage. So, next up is the beasts on the ground who attack the wall once again. This time not causing as much damage, but they are striking the wall, and with every thud, the whole wall seems to shake. What's going on here in the chat? Oh, the book, yes, Evil Dead series, correct. So with that, it is now your turn, Namaris. You've just been struck with a fireball. What are you aiming at? Wyvern or beast on the ground?
Well, because it's hit me, I'd probably rage, which is probably not going to help much, but, just in cases.
Probably not, but yeah. So as a bonus action, you rage. Not a
Yeah.
problem.
So
Who are you
I'm going to
firing
go
at?
for one of the beasties on the...
So you're going to move your ballista target to the ground.
Nope, I'm going to go for one of the wyverns, whatever one hit me.
Okay. So it's probably the one that hit you is probably gone, but there is another one. They're all sweeping above you, so you got plenty of targets to choose from. Because it would have swooped in, hit the fireball, and then flew away behind you.
So I get an 18 again, so I'm guessing that's a...
That unfortunately misses, as the wyvern are very quick and are hard to hit. So that is you. We're going to make a couple of rolls here for the rest of the city guard as they fire their ballista. And you watch as another 2 wyvern drop from the sky as the other ballista firing and manage to take out another 2 of the wyverns. We're now down to Yildri, who is transformed into a drake. You have probably within your range in the sky 2 to 3 wyvern as they're sweeping through towards the city. What is your attack going to be?
I'd like to get behind him and do a cold breath in a cone, which is a Constitution saving
what is the
throw.
range on
90-foot
90
cone?
feet? You would be able to hit 2 with that. It's a con save. 1 fails, 1 succeeds. What's the damage on? We won't worry about damage. What's the average damage on that? Just so I know.
The average damage is, because I was rolling less than what I rolled, which it would be 67.
67. We'll call that a definite hit. So you damage one quite severely to the point where it drops from the sky and lands into the city, more than likely dying from the impact. The other manages to turn and only catch a part of the attack, but looks like you have managed to defeat one of the wyvern. You then, I would assume, move yourself into another position, ready for another run. Back to the top with Ellie. You, at this point, maybe 1 or 2 wyvern in range. Your choice. Which just basically firing away.
14 for the first.
Miss. Are you using Apollo's bow this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you're marking off your arrows.
I have been.
Yeah.
Nat 20, 32.
Woo, a natural 20. That will take down another wyvern. As you strike out and finally get a feel for this bow, and you manage to hit it right below the right wing as it's flapping its wings and strike it in the heart, and its wings just fold in and it just plummets headfirst towards the ground. Hit and Sadiq. Your next target, please.
Same ground target, Sadiq.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, I'll drop the book. That's 16 this time.
16, that will miss, unfortunately.
Oh, Mr. the Book of Souls, fire away, Sadiq.
The creature just puts his arm up and it strikes him in the arm. Doesn't seem to do any damage at all.
And then the bolt went through his arm into his head.
What did you hit?
25.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
We will say that, yeah, that definitely kills another of the ground creatures as you strike it with the large ballista bolt. This is starting to take its toll on you guys on the ballista. You've now fired it a few times, so your next 2 attacks, at the end of the next 2 attacks, you're going to gain your first level of exhaustion, as which will give you, I believe, if I remember rightly, disadvantage on ability checks. So your attacks won't be affected. It'll just be any ability check. So with that, the women's turn again as the next group. They both strike the city. 2 come in from the northwest. One strikes towards the mage tower. The next strikes the top of the catwalk, close to Het and Sadiq. I need you both to make a dexterity saving throw, please, to avoid damage.
Oh dear.
Het.
3.
You will take 24 points of fire damage, sir. Sadiq.
Natural 20, so that would be a 30.
A 30.
Nice.
On a natural 20 and on a 30, I would say that you would take no damage from the fire as you managed to dive out of the way quite expertly.
Hey Sadiq, look out! There's oh, he got away. Good.
With that, it is now the beast's turn as they you watch as 2 or 3 of them step back from the wall and pick up large boulders from outside the city wall and hurl them upwards. One goes high and straight into the city. The other does strike the wall just by where you two are again, unfortunately. So I need you both to make another dexterity saving throw to avoid being knocked off the wall or knocked prone. If you fail to save by 5, you'll be knocked backwards off the wall.
Oh, that's good. I look like hopefully I can fly.
Hit your save, please.
8.
8. Oh, shit. Lucky. You just managed to scrape in there. So you are knocked prone, however. It'll cost you your movement to get back up, which doesn't really matter in this situation, but you are knocked off your feet. You will take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as well. Sadiq, your roll.
Got 18.
Dude, it's bloody fighters, man, and blood hunters are all...
I got plus 10 to dexterity.
Jesus. So you'll take 2 points of bludgeoning damage and are not knocked prone. But remember, you have luck too, guys. You all have luck, so just remember that. Next up is Nemaris. Your turn again.
How far down are they?
About 45-50 feet.
So I'm going to jump down on one of those beasties.
You're going to jump off the wall
Mm-hmm.
to, there's probably 5 or 6, probably 6 or 7 of them down there at this point. Not just one.
I am angry.
Okay. You will need to... You realise you're going to take... How many d6 per 10 feet? 1d6 per 10 feet damage? If you jump?
Yeah, I believe it's a d6 per 10 feet.
So... Nemaris does a stupid thing, jumps off this high wall. Need a dexterity save at disadvantage, because that's pretty high.
Well, I rolled both 19, so that makes early 20s.
Still going to take damage, but you won't take as much. You'll take 32 points of bludgeoning damage as you don't land on. We land on it, but it sort of moves and swats you as you land on its shoulder, and you hit the ground beside it, which is hard because I think you're raging, because you did rage and you did attack, so you'll still be raging. So you'll take half that damage. It'll be 16 points of bludgeoning damage. But you are now prone, and you also have inspiration as well from Lady, so make a note of that. You are now on the ground outside of the wall with a number of large creatures that are probably twice as tall as you and about as wide. With that, Ildry, it is now your turn.
Do I see that from my aerial?
Perception. Because you're engaged in an aerial combat up there, and I'd say you'd be pretty high.
Perception is passive perception.
Just a
26 for a dragon. So
yeah, no, just a active for this, because you'll be focused more on what you're doing up there.
Okay. That is a 25.
I would say you probably see her jump off the wall at this point. You won't see where she landed, but you definitely saw her jump.
I'd like to fly down to where she's at and use my frightful presence. So I want to direct it. You can do 120 feet of my choice, and it's a wisdom saving throw.
The creatures don't seem to be affected at all by your frightful presence.
Okay, I'm going to just stand guard then on her.
No problem. Back to the top of the initiative. So Eldri is now descended, so you're probably out of range of the wyverns at this point, but you do have a number of large hairy beasts at the wall below you, which will be in range.
29 to hit.
That hits. So that was that's not a hit there. You get second attack.
23 to hit.
That also hits. That's another creature taken out. Hit and Sadiq, your next shot. You now you guys probably would have heard Naymara. She wasn't that far away from you guys. She was on the other side of the gate, so maybe 80 feet. You would have heard her go "Rah!" and then throw herself off the side of the city wall. You probably can't see her from where you are, but you've also seen Eldri descend in that general area.
I was lying down, so I stand back up.
You were indeed.
How are we looking at the ground creatures?
There's still about half a dozen.
Move the Book of Souls to the next one if the one we were hitting was dead.
You certainly can.
And I'll drop the book, Sadiq, right before you fire. Damn it. 15, not enough.
Not enough. So Sadiq, your attack.
Yeah, the ground one. Over towards where Eldri and that are.
Yep.
So dirty 20.
That hits.
Nice.
That's yours.
You're pretty good at this, Sadiq.
The wyvern, now noticing the large dragon that has joined this battle, have ceased their attack on the city and are now starting to converge on you, Eldri. So you're going to get 2 attacks at you as the first 2 come at you with a pack tactics, because there's more than 3 of them up there. One misses. One will hit you with a 25, I believe. So you will be struck in the side by a large ball of flame, and you will take 36 points of fire damage. With that, it is now the beastie's turn. Gonna get a couple strike at the wall, which again you hear that large cracking sound. The wall shakes beneath you. Maris, you'll get 2 attacks on you with the one that you're closest to. One will hit you with a 24, the other with a 26, and you will take another 22 points of bludgeoning damage from both attacks. That's 44 total, so it'll be 22 will be your total. As they don't have any weapons, they just literally come down with their fists, like in a hammer fist motion. And he does it twice. Comes in with one fist. They're almost ape-like in a lot of respects, but on a very large scale. And as you can get a closer look at them, they are very reddish skinned and hair, very red eyes, rows of razor-sharp teeth, and massive hands, just almost like boulders the size of their hands. They're absolutely huge. Next up is you, Namaris.
Well, with that, I'm going to attack the one that attacked me, and I'm going to charge up my... Well, I'm going to stand up, first of all.
Yes, you'll need to stand
up. And then
I'm
going to charge up my Helm's Vengeance. And I'm going to attack him.
And charge it up with what?
Use its thingy.
Do you know what it is?
Yep.
You're going to explain to the viewers what it is?
Oh, I'll have a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
That's already, you get that already.
No,
That's not what the charge does.
That's what it says.
No, that's not what the charge does.
What's
That's
the
what
charge
it.
do?
Oh my god. Read it.
You have a +2 bonus
Not
to
that
attack
part,
and
the
damage
rest of
rolls.
it.
That's it.
It's not it.
That's what I've got.
Wow. You get Helm's Blessing with it.
Yeah.
That's the charge. It has one charge of Helm's Blessing.
Yeah.
Once
That
per
doesn't
short
tell me
rest.
What that does.
It does. It's written on it. I'm reading it right now. Once per short rest, you are able to call on Helm and touch a willing creature and cast a bless spell.
It does not say this on my one.
Really?
Really?
I'm looking at your character sheet. And it says that on your one.
You know, I must be looking at different bits then.
So what are you using? Are you using the charge or are you just attacking?
No, we use the charge.
So you'll get the bless spell, which gives you another d4 on attacks and saves.
Okay, so with
And
that,
it lasts for a
I'm
minute.
going to hit it with a dirty 20.
That will hit.
And it will take 10 slashing damage with the first hit.
You don't need to roll per damage, just tell me if you roll to hit. The first hit strikes, what's your second?
22.
It also hits. That will fell that beast.
Okay.
So I believe you also have a feature which allows you to get another attack if you kill a creature.
Great Weapon Master.
Hang on, maybe not. Yes, if you... No, it's only if you score... Yeah, if you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you can make one melee attack as a bonus action. But I believe using your Helm's Vengeance ability is a bonus action. Nope, it's just one special rest. So you have another attack if you wish on the next closest creature.
I'll have another go at the other one. And I will hit him with a 25.
It does hit.
26, 27.
Definitely hits.
And
That's
I
all you can do.
do 15 points of
I
damage.
told you not to roll damage.
Oh, okay.
So, that is your turn. Ildri, it is now your turn. You've seen Namaris attack and fell one of the beasts below you. Now there's still another 4 down there.
I'm gonna do a multi-attack on the one closest to what I can reach.
You would have to get into melee combat if you're going to use your claws or bite.
What about the weapons that attacked us?
You want me to take off with the wyverns?
Well, if you're going to multi-attack with your claws or bite, you're going to have to land.
Oh, I'm hovering. I thought I did land. So I'm hovering above
Yeah.
her. All right, I'm gonna head up for a wyvern then.
You're going to turn and head back into the skies to attack the wyverns. You can get yourself into a position where you can attack 2 with a breath weapon.
I'd have to roll, don't I, for
Yeah.
the breath weapon?
Returns on a 5 or 6.
That's good. That's a 5.
Okay, so your cold, your whatever it was, the cold one is recharged.
Yeah, I'll try the cold breath again.
Yep.
90-foot cone, con save.
Con save. 1 fails, 1 succeeds again, so you managed to knock another one out of the sky, and the other, which looked like it was damaged, so you managed to take 2 out.
All right.
With that, as you release your breath weapon, and it catches the 2 wyverns in its path, and they both plummet. One strikes the city wall on the outside, the other falls inside the city.
And I'll get Allie in a position where she can shoot something else.
So you
Again?
then move into a position where Alessandros, which is now your turn, can make your attack on another wyvern if you wish.
Yep. With a 29.
That hits. Your second attack.
Oh, so close. 20.
That misses, unfortunately. But it does look injured, nonetheless. Next up, we're back to Het and Sadiq. You have 4 large creatures at the base of the wall. You can hear large cracking sounds coming from beneath you at this point. The wall is still stable, but you don't know how much longer it's going to hold out.
Alright, I'm gonna follow through the same thing. Drop the Book of Souls.
Yep.
First, before Sadiq fires. Miss, I'm gonna use my luck for the reroll, and I'm gonna miss again.
Double miss. And
Yeah, you
Sadiq, your
book.
roll,
Fire away.
please. You have inspiration as well from Het, so you do have a reroll if you need it. Not a reroll, a D10.
A D8.
D8.
Actually, I'll use that. A D8, you say?
Great.
Because I'm not sure if that will hit otherwise. 22.
That does hit.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
you
Looks like you needed it.
with so that will take down another one as all of these guys down here have taken a bit of damage. So it's now the wyvern's turn. Again, we're going to have 2 wyverns swoop in. One's going to attack Ildri, the other's going to attack the wall. The one at you, Ildri, is a 21 to hit.
I believe that misses because
Okay.
I have 22.
You got 22. Sweet. So that's a
Yep.
miss. You managed to dodge. The one on the wall, oh my god, that's going to kill 3 guardsmen and take out 1 ballista. Which is the one that Namaris was just happened to leave them in the lurch, leave them by themselves. They were struggling with it. So that fireball hits that ballista, killing the 2 guardsmen there and destroying the ballista. So next up is the beasties. One is going to roll into you, Namaris. Again, God misses with his first attack, and that was terrible. Hits you with a second with a 26. So that'll be 22 points of bludgeon damage, half to 11. The rest of them are going to attack the wall. And they have now breached a portion of the wall on where the side that you were on, Namaris, just below where your ballista is. It appears that they have not breached fully, but they've managed to
So
damage
they've
the
gotten through
wall.
past me.
Well, they were at the wall already. It's not getting past you. You can't stop them from getting to the wall. They were already at the wall. And they're a lot bigger than you, so they're probably just about to step over you. So they have created it's not like a huge hole where things can crawl through, but they've created a large enough hole that it could be a concern. With that, it is now your turn, Namaris.
Right, I'm going to attack.
Move to the next one, next closest.
Yeah. And I'm going to hit him with a nat 20, so that's 31 to hit.
That definitely hits, and we'll class it as a double hit. So that one we will
Heroic.
say for flavour, you run up and just Helm's Vengeance is held high, and you swing it high, and you just remove his leg just below the knee, and he topples over and starts to bleed out. And your
Okay,
second
now
attack.
Go for the next one. Oh, that's not so good. So it's only a 19 to hit.
That will miss, unfortunately. You were so impressed by your first attack that
Oh.
you...
I have inspiration. I'm going to add a d10.
I thought you used it already.
No, I got given another one.
Are you sure?
After my last crit roll. So that adds a 6.
That'll hit. Right. So, next up, LG. It is now your turn again.
Okay, I'm going to Do I have a wyvern in my sights?
You can move into position. There's a few of them milling around. They seem to be now focusing more on you than the city. But they are moving into position to attack you.
I'm gonna try and get into melee attack range to bite and claw at them. With a multi-attack.
So yep, you can get into range of a single target.
And
Roll to attack.
I'm trying to use D&D Beyond here, but it's being a
dick.
that is a 12 plus 17.
I think that hits.
29. Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure that hits. So the first one hits. Your second. How many attacks do you get?
I get 1 bite and 2 claws.
Okay, so 3 attacks. So resolve your second attack before we move forward.
My 1 bite. I'm gonna get out regular dice for this because it's not working. 10 plus 10, so 20.
That will miss your third attack.
And that's a nat 20 plus
that
10.
Will definitely kill that creature as you reach out with your bite and bite in its wing, trying to claw it with your claw. You kind of miss it with the first one, but you come back with the other right hand claw and manage just to grab it just under the neck and just tear its throat out, sending it plummeting earthward beneath you. Alessandros, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, as you have no ropes and are currently on the back of a dragon who has just gone into melee combat with another aerial creature.
26.
You managed to hold on without many hassles at all. Your attack, please. There will be definitely a wyvern in your attack range.
21 to hit.
That hits. Actually, no, that doesn't. That misses, sorry.
And the next one, 27 to hit.
That hits. And that one had sustained some damage before, so that one does drop as well. You are now down to roughly, looks like if you have a quick look around, roll a perception check, Eldry and Alessandros for me since you guys are in the air. So if you can gauge roughly how many are left. You guys and Namaris on the catwalks, there are 2 large beasts remaining. And you would see this because you're down with them, Namaris. Your perception rolls, please.
32.
Okay, you can see that there's roughly a dozen or so wyverns left.
Nat 1, 12.
You see nothing. You just see there's just wyverns up there. You're not sure how many. But LG, you can sort of, at a glance, you pick up there's about a dozen or so. So with that, we are back to Het and Sadiq. That is a possibility.
Book of Souls. Come on, baby. Oh, he misses again.
Another miss from the Book of Souls.
Get that damn thing, Sadiq.
Yeah.
You're going to fire at the one that hit Namaris? Because you guys probably be able to see her battling it out down there.
Yeah. 21 to hit.
That hits. And with that hit, it does kill. Because the creature that she had struck the second time had already taken 1 attack. So it does fell the creature next to you, Namaris. There is 1 more down there with you. It is now the wyvern's turn. At this point, Sadiq, you will take 1 point of exhaustion. As you've been on this piece of equipment for quite some time now.
Will I take that as well?
Yeah, I'd say so. You've been helping. Yeah,
machine.
you've both been helping.
Yeah.
So even the guardsman that's giving you a hand's looking pretty rough. You've both taken a bit of damage as well. So with that, it is now the wyvern's turn again. So Ildri, you're going to have this time 3 attacks against you. The first one is an 18, which I believe misses. The second one is a 27. And the last one misses as well, so you take another 36 points of fire damage as this wyvern shoots a giant fireball at you. The last beast standing, turns looks at the wall, looks at you, Neymaris, looks back at the wall and sort of looks at you and decides to attack you. He will attack you with a 26 and a 24, which I believe both hit.
Yeah.
So
Your scratches.
22 points of bludgeoning damage again. And that's
had a
already halved.
reaction.
Hey?
I just wish I had a reaction.
Yes, unfortunately, barbarians don't really get reactions all that much.
No,
I don't think they get many at all, if any.
I don't.
So,
Attack.
with that is now back up to Yildri. You can move, and they're moving into you, so you'd definitely be able to get into melee range if you wished.
I'm gonna try my paralyzing breath, hopefully. For
Okay,
a con save.
I will roll a quick dice here. You will be able to get 4 in your paralyzing breath. What's the save on those?
It's a con save 24.
Whew. 1 fail. 2 fail. Oh shit. 3 fail. 4 fail. And the last succeeds. Holy crap. So we're going to just roll a little bit of damage here. I'm going to say at the height they are, because they're paralyzed and they're paralyzed for a minute, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 will die as they plummet and hit the ground. 2 of them inside the wall, 2 of them outside. So there will be some collateral damage, more than likely. But there are now just the 1 beast left standing, and approximately 8 or 9 wyvern still circling, moving in towards you. Alessandro, it's back to you. I need to make a quick roll for you. Unfortunately, there are no wyverns within range at this point. With that attack, Ildri managed to take out pretty much everything that was in range.
Can I ready an attack?
You can ready attack. I mean, you're going to be able to attack anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can ready to for one to get into range.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Not a problem. So we are now back to Het and Sadiq. You have 1 last beast alive at the base of the tower.
Right, should we try this one again? Book of Souls. Come on, baby. Oh, nice. 15.
Is that a miss? That's a miss, unfortunately. Sadiq,
26.
that hits.
Thankfully, you're doing all the work.
So that's another one that
That's
hits.
Teamwork.
Yeah,
No, you didn't
yeah,
miss a turn.
You're stopping him from
Oh,
moving.
she did
which
miss.
is
No, you
making
didn't
it
miss a turn.
easier.
No, you did miss a turn. Sorry. Your turn now.
After these guys.
No, that's why I said it's your turn now.
Oh. Does a 27 hit?
No. It misses. Goes wide. Of course it hits, and it does kill the last of the beasts on the ground. You are now outside of the wall by yourself.
There's
Lying
a
in
hole the
corpses.
wall. Is there a hole in
It's
the
quite
wall
high
for
up
me?
in the woods, like probably 14, 16 feet high in the wall. It's not huge, like it's like they've knocked out almost like a 1 brick, and that like there's a big stone walls. So it's knocked one of the stones out. Like I said, it's not really big enough for someone to crawl through, but they'd have to climb up to crawl through.
Right, I'm gonna run for the gate.
You're kind of at the gate, beside the gate. Chances
Right,
of the city guard opening the gate for you right now are probably slim to none. But you can definitely be out there yelling at them if you wish. I don't know how many they're going to hear you at this point, but go for it. With that, we are bad. Where'd we get up to? So, wyverns had their turn. Beasts are all dead. Ildri, back to you.
All right. What can I get into range of another wyvern?
What's your movement as a dragon? What your flight speed
movement.
is like 80 feet or something?
My flight is 80 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say better get into range of more of the wyvern.
Well, I'll try a multi-attack again.
So
Can I
single
get
target.
melee?
Yep. A roll to hit you on your first attack.
That is a 30.
Yeah, I think that hits.
Nah. That's a net 20. And then,
it's smushed. That first one, yeah, it's toast.
yeah.
You probably don't have enough movement to get in close to another one at this point.
Okay.
They're probably still within 20 or so feet. But you have
Alright.
moved into where, Alessandros, you can now fire your bow.
19 to hit.
That is a miss. Your second attack.
17 to hit.
That also misses. You seem to be thrown by the fact you almost fell off. Not quite, you were hanging on pretty good, but a couple of barrel rolls and that, so you're a little nervous, you sort of aims a little off. Hit and Sadiq, we're back with you.
So there's only Wyvern left now, right?
There's only Wyvern left, and they are still within range of your ballista, within 200 feet.
Okay, Book of Souls will definitely be out.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I dismiss it,
No problem.
because I won't be able to reach.
Before you do that, I'm gonna go head.
Yeah.
Would the Book of Souls be able to be used like an elevator type thing to lift the Maris up?
Okay, that's a good question, DM.
What's its movement?
20 feet.
Yeah, it wouldn't get to the top, and I don't think it has a carry weight or anything like that, does it?
Nah, it doesn't have anything obvious like that. It's called spiritual, so I imagine it's ghost or
It's
spectral,
kind of
right?
ethereal, yeah.
Okay.
I would say probably not.
I'm
Awesome
a
thought,
fighter.
though.
I don't understand this magical woobity-doobity stuff.
Sadiq, I don't think that will work. And Hit dismisses it with his bonus action.
So,
None of this. I'll wind this wheel to help you aim better. All right, pull the damn trigger.
so you move into position to aim. Roll to hit.
23.
That does hit. You,
Oh, awesome.
Elder, you do see a bolt. Comes relatively close, shoots past just above your head, and strikes the wyvern in front of you, which you'd already damaged previously, so that drops it out of the sky.
Hit waves at her.
And with that, we are back to the wyvern's turn. I'll make a couple of rolls here to see what happens. Ooh. More. So, two of the wyverns turn and flee using their double movements. So they've got 60 feet of movement, so they just moved 120 feet away from the city, and looks like they're fleeing. The other three, however, have turned, grouped together, and are all swooping in towards you, Ildri. So it'll be 3 attacks. 24 to hit on that one. 24 to hit again, and the second one misses, so you'll take 72 points of fire damage with those 2 strikes, and that is their turn. So Namaris, you get to the gate, you're yelling out from the bottom of the gate. No one seems to be listening to you at this point. There's still a battle raging on above you. I need you to roll a perception check for me though, please. I'm assuming you'd get to the gate, you'd yell out, no one's listening, so you'd sort of look around at the beasts and sort of what's happening around down here.
13.
How much?
13.
13. You do notice back down the road, the north road, probably 100 or so feet down the road seems to be a lone humanoid figure. This seems to be standing there, almost like he's watching. Not moving,
Right.
but you just sort of notice. You can't really make out who it is. You just see this lone figure standing out in the middle of the road.
I would. Is there much around me?
Not really.
Cover-wise?
there's
Right,
a
I'm
few
going to turn
corpses and
around and I'm
stuff.
going to look at him and I'm going to walk towards him.
Okay, so you can get. You can start walking towards him. He's about 100 or so feet away, but you can start walking toward in his general direction.
I'll get about 40 feet before I have to stop.
In your turn, you do start heading towards him. We're now back to the Ildri. It's now your turn. You've noticed these 3 wyverns have turned. They've fired at you. One has missed, 2 has struck you, and they are hovering about 60 feet from your position.
And, have to melee attack.
So you
because
move
that's
into
what I got
melee
left.
attack.
Yeah.
So you'll single target.
That is a 22.
That hits.
All right, and then that's gonna be a bite for 21 and 2 claws for 17 and 19.
So the 2 under 22 do not hit. So they both miss. You do not kill this creature, but it definitely looks hurt. You notice the other 2, the moment you started moving in to melee range, the other 2 backed off. They've moved away sort of 30 or so feet, so they're trying to keep distance between you. You managed to catch up with this one and strike it. Ellie, your turn. So you got one that you probably can't attack because it's roughly within... Oh, no, you probably could because you're on the back of a dragon. Range is probably 15 feet from you, so...
I got a max range of 600 feet, so...
Yeah, it's the minimum range that I was talking about.
Okay.
Not worried about your max range. I know the Apollo's bow's got stupid long range.
Yeah, I know. 29 to hit.
How much, sorry?
29.
29, that definitely hits. And your second attack.
29.
That is also a hit, so you knock another one out of the sky, leaving 2 remaining. One has taken damage, one has not. Back to the boys. Hit and Sadiq, you notice another wyvern drops from the sky. This one falling outside of the city. These last 2 seem to be outside of the city walls.
Sadiq, I have an idea. And Hit holds up Scully and he says, Scully, show him that it's a kind of magic. And with his bonus action, he imbues the catapult, the ballista, with magical weapon at 5th level, giving it a +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage.
Okay, so a +10 to your attack.
So +2?
+2 on top of your +8, so +10.
So that'll be a 23 now.
That hits, and you remove another wyvern from the sky as it strikes the one closest to Yulji, leaving one last wyvern in the sky. It is now its turn.
That lasts for an hour. I'm concentrating on it.
No problem. So, Yulji, you get hit by another ball of flame as it strikes you almost directly in the face, making another 36 points of fire damage. This time he releases the fireball and then turns and moves his full movement 60 feet away from you, which from you at the moment would be 90 feet from you. So you can, with your movement, I believe you can get within 10 feet of it. I think 80 feet's yours. So if you wish to pursue, you can. The other 2 seem to have vanished in that time. They've now doubled their movement and got another 120 feet, so they're moving away at a great pace. This one looks like to be doing the same. Do you give chase?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you're going to move your full movement, or you're going to dash to get in front of it?
I'm going to dash.
So you move a full 160 feet, you pass the wyvern and turn to face it, which it sees you and almost comes to a stop itself, holding itself in position. Unfortunately, you've used your action to move double movements, and so you only have a bonus action left.
That'll get Allie in range, though, right?
That will get Allie in range, indeed.
I don't know. Hold my butt. I'm just going to wait.
So,
that one.
Alessandros, you get the final attack on the last of the wyvern.
20 to hit.
That misses. Your second attack.
21 to hit.
That also misses.
I'll use a luck.
You've got a luck, so use it, definitely.
29.
That hits and removes the final wyvern from the fight, and we are now out of initiative.
with that,
Actually, not out of initiative, sorry. Back to Hit and Sadiq. You guys notice that everything is dead. I need you two both to make a perception roll as well. And Namaris, you've moved closer to this creature. As you've moved forward, you can now make out it's a half-elven figure. Long,
I was
dark hair.
actually going to talk to it telepathically
Okay.
and say, "Who are you? Hello." And I can give it mind-link response so he can respond to me.
Yep. You get no response back.
Sadiq, that's a disadvantage for us because of that exhaustion too.
Yeah.
I can't get any worse than what I got.
Oh, okay.
Did you get that one?
Yeah.
Well, my lowest is 21, so I made up for it.
So Hit, you see Namaris walking towards something, and then you squint your eyes and you can see about 100 feet from the city wall, from the city gate, a lone figure standing out in the road. I'd say by this time, Ilja, you've come back towards the city. I need you to make a perception check also. You can make one too, Alessandro, if you wish, but yours will be a disadvantage because you have no idea what you're looking at, and you're on the back of a dragon. A 0 for Sadiq. Sorry, you're sort of -1, aren't you?
I got a 14.
Yeah, you can see Namaris, but you're not sure what she's doing, but she's walking away from the city.
I got a 26.
26. With your dragon vision, you see Namaris, you see the direction in which he's walking at, and you see the same figure. And from your position up on high, you recognize him almost immediately. Namaris, as you get closer, you also recognize him as the humanoid form of Kosis.
Oh shit.
He just touches his earring and says, "There's someone down there, Namaris, look out."
Yeah, and I relay what I just realised. I know.
Do I have the earring? I do have the earring.
Yeah, you all do. So you're all within range, so you all would have heard it.
It's Kosis.
And I'm gonna say, what are you doing here?
He looks directly at you and just grins. And in almost nonchalant manner just turns and starts walking away.
Don't you turn away from me.
How far away is he?
He's within ballista range.
I'll take a shot with the ballista.
Do it. Oh, and it's at +2 still.
Yeah, +10 would be your roll.
Alright. So 26.
26. He's in humanoid form, so his AC is a lot lower than his dragon form. However, as you fire the ballista, you're on target. You watch it fly almost in slow motion. You watch it slowly, the whole slow motion feed as you see the large ballista bolt, heavy wood and steel, fly towards your target. Namaris, you see it fly overhead of you, and in an instant you watch as he turns, holds up a hand, and the ballista just splinters into 100 pieces. And
that makes me go, no, I'm not going to attack him now.
He turns, looking back at you all. I mean, Namaris, you can see it. You guys that walk can sort of see him in the distance. You probably wouldn't be able to see the gesture, but Ilja, you'll definitely see it. Namaris, you will see it as well. He bows graciously, grins, and turns, and then in a puff of smoke is gone.
Till we meet again.
And now we're out of combat.
I'm going to touch the ring and go, so did I get him?
Yeah, see, you scared him off.
Oh, cool. I need it back.
Can you let me back in now, please?
No. Why'd you jump off the wall in the first place?
How much damage did you take, Namaris, just out of curiosity?
In total?
Yeah.
I took just under 100.
How much have you got left?
35.
Yeah, so she's probably limping back to the door, to the gate. She's pretty beat up.
And that's with everything halved because of rage.
Exactly. So imagine if she wasn't raging.
So
that's why I was surprised when you jumped off the wall. I was like, "Fuck me, really? You want to do that?"
I was hoping I'd land on something.
Well, you kind of did, but they're not easy to land on. We're going to take a short break, guys.
Off. I'm sitting there going, oh, here we go. She's going to kill herself at the start.
I was thinking, fuck, that's a rare moment if ever I saw one. But we're going to take a short break, guys. We did go a little bit over our break period with the combat, which is really awesome. It was a good combat. It went really well. Actually, a lot better than I thought it was going to sort of run. So I wasn't sure how this type of combat would work.
Bow, by the way, I really love the bow.
It's a good bow. Unfortunately, these guys were super high dexterity, so the ACs were pretty high. So it's kind of hard to hit something moving that quickly in the sky. But we're going to take a short break, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Make sure if you're not following, please hit the follow button, and any and all support is appreciated. Check out the YouTube, check out the Twitter, the Discord, and don't forget, if you've got Twitch Prime, you can sub for free. Be right back. Hey, chat.
Back
back.
and back.
I'm back. So, how you doing, chat? Welcome to the show. Good to see Mr. Magic hanging out in the chat, and Lady Litany, and I see a Blue Jay there as well, and a Mr. Roasting Chicken. Good to have you guys joining us this evening. Thank you for using the channel points, guys. Appreciate it. By the rolls that were made tonight, they definitely needed it. San the Shrine Fox, welcome. Glad to have you on board. Again, just to reiterate, make sure if you're not following, please hit that follow button. We appreciate the support. Come and hang out with us every Sunday and Wednesday for D&D and the occasional gaming stream throughout the week when I'm not working. But definitely come and hang out with us. If you have Twitch Prime, you are able to sub for free every month to your favourite streamer. So if you are that way inclined, it definitely wouldn't go astray and would help the stream no end. Twin Gats dropping a raid. What's up? Welcome to Twin Gats and the Gun Squad dropping in on us tonight. What's up, dude? We get a shout out for Twin Gats, guys, please. I used to have a raid scene on Mixer. I should probably put that back in. Double shout outs. Actually, I think it was triple shout outs, quadruple shout outs. Holy, all the shout outs tonight. Twin Gats playing the Grand Theft Auto, doing the RP. So if you guys enjoy Grand Theft Auto and you enjoy RP and you want to see a mix of the both, go check out Twin Gats. It does a lot of the GTA RP stuff. Mr. Bobby Walnuts is his character's name. Thank you, Trash.
He's currently building a biker gang.
Ah, yes, he was too. You're getting so into it? That's awesome, dude. Roleplay's fun. That's why we love D&D. And of course, don't forget to Roastin' Chicken, who does stream occasionally, and Miss Yanti1, who does lately a lot of Warframe, a lot of Night of the Dead, which is the new tower defense / zombie survival game on Steam, which is an alpha. I have been playing it with her, and it is a lot of fun. We have a server running, and it is a lot of fun. I'll say a few bugs here and there, working through it, but it is enjoyable. Having the tower defense in a survival game just gives you something to work towards, which I think is just a little bit less boring than a typical survival game.
Yeah, it actually gives you something to do.
Yeah.
Every night.
Pretty much, because every night you get a wave of zombies coming to try and eat your face.
Yeah. It's fun.
So you got traps and all sorts to build. You can make lightsabers. Just to put it out there.
Trashy gets set alight by the flamethrowers and run around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'm doing an alley trick, okay?
so before we're getting close to the end already. We've had a pretty long combat. So we'll get back into it, and we'll have a bit of a discussion at the end. If you want to hang around and discuss some other games, by all means, hang around. We'll be doing our usual favourite moments. So chat also too at the end of the stream. If you have a moment from tonight's session that stands out for you, at the end we'll go around the players, and then I'll call for the chat, and just at me in the chat if you want to pick out a particular moment, and I'll read it out. Or at one of the mods, and they'll read it out. Either way. But we'll get back into the session. So the combat has ended. You have the corpses of several large beasts on the outskirts of the town. As the city gates do open for you, Namaris, as you return. Namaris is looking a little worse for you as the rest of you descend the catwalks and return to the city proper. Ildri, I'm assuming you descend and transform. The captain of the city gate meets you guys at the base. He's wounded. He's got he's streaked with blood. He's got looks like he's been hit by maybe a fire blast. He's got some burn marks and stuff up him. But he comes back to you guys and says, "Oh, that was tough. Thank you for your assistance. Whew. Oh, now we have to assess the damage. I don't know what they were, but they seem to have breached the wall in a couple of places. Nothing too serious, nothing we can't repair, but wow. Do you have any idea what they were? I've never seen such creatures.
Wyverns. Kind of a subspecies of a dragon.
A wyvern, you say? I think, from memory, we used to have the dragon stables. That's what that was built for. We used to have wyvern riders many, many years ago, before the Dragon Wars, of course, and they were all eradicated. I thought they were extinct. It didn't look like the usual wyverns, though, and Ildry, you would know they weren't, as you got up pretty close, they definitely weren't your typical wyvern by a long shot. They definitely looked different. But they were definitely wyvern, but they just looked different. The other creatures, you're not 100% sure of at this point, unless you get a close look. Well, I guess, again, thank you for your assistance, and I'm going to assess the casualties and the damage and report back to Breton. And he bows and stands up straight again and hits his chest on his plate and towards you, Ildry. And you actually notice that a lot of the guards that have been milling around this area are the Dragonscale militia. They're wearing the Dragonscale militia armor and the cloak with the white dragon's head on it. And this guy, as he turns, you notice he's actually wearing the white cloak as well. And you haven't met a lot of the officers yet, but he seems, again, definitely respectful of you. He definitely seems like he's a good leader. He obviously had these guys strategically placed to help repel this attack. So
I'm gonna heal him with a cure wounds, and then I'm gonna go through, including my party, and use every healing slot I have.
Okay.
Going until I run out on healing the people.
Okay. So I'll get you to roll the heal for Namaris. Specifically because she has taken... And Namaris looks worse for weird guys. She is battered and bruised. She has taken a fair whack of damage.
She'll get a 26 to heal.
Thank you. And then I think she might just herself. Ooh, who looks really bad other than me?
Yep.
Oh no, I feel quite alright.
Cheers for the sub, Twin Gats. Yes, I have got the alerts turned off for D&D, dude, but they still pop up on screen.
I'm good because I was a dragon, so yeah.
And I took Bubkus a little rest and we'll be gone. So
I'm a bit the same. It's just a little tired, that's all.
yeah.
It's quite a lot of effort turning that ballista with the handles and the pulleys and whatnot.
Yeah, they've got to work on the gearing, because I got the feeling when the full-on attack happens, we're going to run through people very quickly if they're going to have to sit there like that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I've never used a big ballista-type weapon like that before. I imagine it's probably a better model than the previous, but whew, I'm not built for that.
True. Yeah. That would help, actually, Ellie.
Well, that's a good point. Is there any Warforged or something like that within the Scale army? Maybe could come and maybe we should assign people to these ballistas.
You might have to have a look.
Alchemists, I don't know, something like that.
No, it's just they just need to work with the gearing to make it a little bit easier. I think. Like it is easy.
Yeah, you found it was relatively it was relatively easy to do. It was just the winding of the rigging and the wheels, the fact that these ballista carry and fire such a heavy bolt, and the bolt itself is made mainly of steel. It's still got a wooden shaft. It's a much heavier wooden shaft, but the head of it is much larger and heavier gauge steel, and that gives it the range that it has. A regular ballista only has a range of 150 feet. This one has a range of 200 feet and does a hell of a lot more damage. So that's probably why it takes a little bit more of an effort to fire it, but as it being a little heavier. But yeah, it is a little bit taxing. So, what are you guys doing at this point? As you sort of look back towards the city, you can see several plumes of smoke, and when I say several, probably several dozen across the city. Being the city as large as it is, the attack has been citywide. Obviously, from where you are, you can see where one of the women has fallen and has destroyed probably 2 or 3 homes in this area. This area where you're at in the north of the city, there is a bit of a market district, but there is a working class district as well where many people have their homes, and a lot of those homes have been destroyed. And it looks like there's been carnage across the entire city.
I guess we would be wanting to walk towards maybe some of the area to see if they need help. But as we do, or before we do whatever we're doing next, Head would say, guys, I hate to break it to you, but in the scry, he said attack within a week. This was like a day later. I feel like, was this some sort of decoy? Have people been gotten into town? Do we have to do a search?
That's a good point. Should we talk to Corum, maybe?
Yeah, I mean...
Organize a search party or something like that.
He could have seen the scry and maybe put us off, because I definitely got set out of the scry, but I'm worried maybe during this attack, under subterfuge, maybe some more of his army have gotten secretly into town.
It's a possibility. We're all defending the north, and someone's coming in through the rear. So I guess we need to have a
rear-mounted attack, you might say.
Yes, rear-mounted attack. Evil's not hourly bad joke.
Evil's very blurry.
Do you guys want to check out one of the wyvern first?
Well, we might want to tell.
We'll check one of the wyverns on the way as we go to tell Corum what we think may have happened.
Yeah, I think it's the best idea that we tell him that what you saw, what could have happened, and then we go help try to get all this under control.
Yeah, good plan.
Because the serpent, that's what they're called now, or the scorpion?
The black scorpion is...
The black scorpion would probably be employed into looking if someone had penetrated at the walls from another spot. Because that's what they would do. So they'll probably be able to find someone a little bit better.
Alright, well, if there's no disagreements, then we shall head to Corum.
So you make your way towards Corum's mansion. As you walk the city streets, you see a lot of the city's people have been displaced, homes destroyed, a lot of injured people being helped by city guard, by friends and family. A lot of buildings are on fire and people are rushing with buckets and that from wells to put them out. The fires seem to be minor, not overly too bad. Most of the fires have been brought under control, but there is a lot of damage. You find as you start to get closer, you see the Mage's Tower, the Arcanus Podrum, which is located on the way towards Corum's manor home. and that has sustained some pretty hefty damage. Some large holes in the side of the tower. The top of the tower seems to have caved in. It's not completely destroyed, but it has sustained some pretty serious damage. While the city has been warded against magical attacks, it has not been warded against such physical attack, which is what has caused all this damage. You do pass several bodies of these wyvern. You can stop and investigate and have a look at them if you wish, because they do look different than the average wyvern that you're aware of, Ildri. And Het and Sadiq, because you both know what they are as well. Het, they would definitely look different than the pictures that your father had showed you, and Sadiq, you probably would have seen pictures in that with your study at the Order, and they are definitely different looking as well. So you can, those that want to check it out, can make a roll. Ildri, Sadiq, and Het, you can make a nature roll. All of you with advantage because you have previous knowledge of wyverns, and just straight rolls for Neymaris and Elishanis.
Yeah, I got no clue what it is I rolled in that one.
Oh look, it's a dragon.
I've got proficiency with my nature.
Yeah, but that's already on your roll. Your roll
Oh.
be like a +5 or +6 or something.
14.
14. It's definitely a wyvern. You've never seen one. You've probably seen.
I've probably read about them, but
Yeah, you've probably read about them. You've probably not even really seen pictures of them. But it just you think it's to you it's a regular wyvern. Het.
Het will not make the roll. He would be touching himself and touching. Touching himself. That's the one.
Touch myself. Yeah, okay. He's touching himself.
And also placing a hand on Sadiq and casting lesser restoration. So they're both cured of their conditions.
Okay, so that removes the exhaustion that you both have.
I feel much better. Thank you, Ed.
That'll help
And
us
a
for
9.
now.
And 19 for you and Ildri.
Nat 20 for 25.
So Ildri, you look at this and you instantly see the differences. Sadiq, it takes you a little longer to pick up on it, but you both notice that their hide is a lot thicker than the average wyvern. Their skin is a deep red instead of a more sort of pinky orange that they normally would be. And inspecting a little closer, Ildri, you come to almost a sudden realization. Okay, these look weird. They look a little more dragon-like than they should. And then, as you guys are inspecting this, and you start to sort of inspect further, almost immediately, you first notice it, Fiala, as you've been looking at sort of everything, the wings, the claws, the body starts to break down and starts to sort of bubble and fester in places, and then it turns into an almost like an ash, and the ash just slowly drifts into the air as the body completely dissolves. I believe you guys have seen this once before when you fought the demons in Bearford Keep. Very similar effect on the bodies. This has taken a bit longer, so I think Ildri, with that roll, with a natural 20 roll, you would be able to determine that these are a dragon wyvern hybrid, but also of a demonic nature. So I would think that you would roll intelligence for me just quickly, and at advantage.
The second one's a nat 20 again, so that's
20
good.
again. As this thing dissolves and disappears, you're racking your brain as to why they look the way they do and why it seems so familiar to you. And then it dawns on you, like light bulb moment. Kosis is experimenting using his own blood and his own DNA. They're breeding these things. But if they're demonic in nature, Asmodeus must have a hand in this as well. because they're definitely demonic. They're definitely demonic. That much, because that smell of sulfur hangs thick in the air as they dissolve as well.
I'm gonna scream like something like that bastard in Draconic, but then I'm going to.
And it will echo, because I would imagine that she would almost transform at the same time, so it becomes very guttural and very dragon-like and very loud and echoes through the city.
And then
and it probably gives the rest of you a bit of a fright as well.
Those shaky, angry voice. I'm going to explain about my theory of him breeding kind of a demonic hybrid.
A driver? Holy shit, guys.
A driver.
A driver wagon. Yeah.
A bastard sleeping around. No.
A weird dragon. There you go.
Yeah. No.
That doesn't sound very promising, Yildri.
But there is an advantage. Since
Okay.
they're part demon, they have weaknesses that demons would have.
Oh, good point. That is true.
Potentially.
And if you cut off their hands and put them in your backpack, it won't go rotten and smell. It will just turn to ash.
But why would you be cutting off their hands and sticking them in your backpack? Yet? What is it with your fascination about sticking hands in your backpack?
Head, stop. Just stop. Don't go any further.
If it's any consolation, I was going to make a weapon from said hands, but obviously now I would never do such a thing.
You were going to make a weapon, but you decided not to? Or you completely forgot to?
No, I was totally... It was something that I couldn't make my mind up on, because, you know, I'm part dragon, she's dragon, and it was confusing for me. It was like, I guess if you woke up as a woman tomorrow, would you want to do it with a dude, you know?
What?
Everyone is really confused right now. They're all giving you the weirdest look.
Anyway, the point is, this isn't good. If they're making dragon, demon, wyvern things, what else are they making?
Well, those big things that attacked outside. Would I have any knowledge of them?
Roll a history.
Okay. And would they be a... okay. Fey, fiend, or undead?
They're not undead, they're not fey, but they're definitely fiendish.
Okay, so I get advantage on that one. So we'll go with the first one, which was 27.
27. They are also not exactly what you think they are. They look a lot like a Garisto, which is a very large demonic beastie that has the ability to destroy walls and buildings relatively easily. They definitely have that kind of weight behind them. But these looked a little different as well from what you know. So you would probably get the same impression that these are a hybrid of some description. You're not sure entirely what with. Maybe a pit fiend or something similar. Because they're a lot redder in skin color, and they seem to be a lot bigger.
And are we able to scry on one of those wyverns that ran away? Maybe see where they're going?
I mean, my father pronounced it wyvern, but yes.
Wyverns? Wagons? Wiggins? Well, I don't know what they are.
Dragavern.
A Varigon?
We should make a name for them, since they are not a creature with a name. Maybe
bastard children.
Well, I mean, that is. I know that's close to your heart, and I apologize.
Dragons? Dragons is.
Varigons?
Steve. Yeah, we'll call them Steves.
Wait.
They're
No.
the Steves.
Jesus Christ.
The where have we gone?
Coastlings?
So where have we gone?
Where have we gone?
man.
That's it. It's,
Tim.
lock it in.
We'll call
Um,
him Tony.
Tim.
Okay, names
Those hybrids, yes.
names aside, you want to scry on. What do you want to scry on exactly?
Well, I thought if we could catch one of them flying away, we could see exactly maybe where they're going or what they see or
Back to base type
their
thing.
boss.
Right, that's a good idea. All right, I will get Scully out of my pack.
You're going to do this in the middle of the street?
Should we go away and do it somewhere else?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it in the middle of the street.
So Het sits cross-legged, well, as close to cross-legged as Het can get, in the middle of the street. He pulls
Pull
out
up
Scully,
Scully.
holds it up, and concentrates on the vision of the wyvern that he'd seen. And after
that's it.
about
The
5 or
wyvern has
so
to make a
minutes,
15. Wisdom 17 save
Yeah.
to.
after about 15 or so minutes of concentrating, you can't seem to make any kind of connection
Oh crap!
with the wyvern. You're not entirely sure why. You get the impression that you know that the scry spell is definitely not designed to scry across planes, although it can do. It doesn't always work. You get the impression after that length of time that it's quite possible that these wyverns are no longer on this plane of existence.
Unfortunately, I'm getting nothing. It is possible that they have shifted between planes. I do apologize.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I couldn't give us an answer that, would have been helpful.
Well, it's still helpful. We know they're not here.
I guess that's true. In that case, pay me your money for I saw good. No, just kidding.
Paying you money?
Never mind. The point is they're not on this plane. I don't think, at least. I guess it's off to Coram to find out what we can find out.
Yep.
Yeah, he at least should know anyway. Maybe it might help with defense.
Scully, concentrate harder next time.
Oh my.
You know it's not Scully's fault. It's your lack of concentration.
Don't put this back on me, Sadiq.
Look, it could be because you're so close to, Fiala, Fieldre's type. She's throwing you off.
That's true.
Don't put this on me, Sadiq.
Excuse me, children. Let's just go and see what we got to do.
I'm just saying.
So you start walking and talking towards Coram's mansion, which is in the center of the city. Again, you pass by several buildings you recognize. As I say, the Arcanist Potter Room. You go down through the alleyways and you hit the Tome Ward where Coram's mansion is situated. You go through the gates that lead into the inner district, which is a walled district, and not as much damage here, but there has been some damage. Through the market district, there's been several buildings hit. You can see several plumes of smoke from the market area, and the dock area seems unhit. As you get closer to Coram's estate, the guards that are there are not there. The gates are hanging open, and part of the wall that surrounds Coram's estate has been destroyed, and there is no evidence of fire, so you assume maybe a wyvern has been killed and has landed in this general vicinity. You do head up to the door and you knock on the door, and it takes a little while, maybe 10 or so minutes, before Coram's manservant, the old gentleman that never speaks, opens the door. He's a little disheveled. He's got a bit of sweat on his brow, and he sort of bows and opens the door and waves you in. Doesn't wave you into Coram's office though. He closes the door and beckons for you to follow him. And you walk through the main foyer of Corum's house, which is, again, it's a large foyer with spiral staircase leading up to a second and third floor. He goes through the back, through a large dining room, into a kitchen, and out a back door into the rear of the house. And out there, you see Corum now standing with his back to you, and you see that the back of his estate is just destroyed. And lying on the ground beside him, he's got his head down, and you see what you could only assume is bodies covered in blankets. 4 bodies. And the manservant sort of asks you to wait sort of where you are, and he walks over to Corum, and you see him whisper something to his master, and Corum sort of turns partially and waves you over as his manservant heads back to the house. And he's standing there, his arms are crossed, his head's down. As you move around in front of him and around the bodies, you notice that the whole backside of this portion of the house is destroyed. It's all like first and second floor is just a massive hole inside of the building. Corum has, as you come around in front of him, he is dirty. He has blood streaked down one side of his face. His robes on one side are torn, and he's got blood in several different wounds. And you can also, on his dirty face, you can see the runs of where tears have been streaking his face. And he doesn't look up at this point. He doesn't really say anything at the moment. You can almost see he's like trying to gather himself a little bit. And eventually he yes, what can I help you with? Will you excuse me? And he sort of sits down. There's a stone bench sort of there, and he sort of sits and doesn't really say anything else at this point. You can see he's definitely distraught.
Listen, Corum, it's probably a bad time. It looks as though you've lost people, and we are deeply sorry. We have some information and a question if you are able to answer.
Of course. You were involved in the repulsion of the attacks?
Yes. The lot of us helped up on the wall and whatnot. We don't wish to hold you up. Looks like you have things to tend to. Nonetheless, quickly, I scryed on Kosis last night. He was able to shoot me out of the scry, but before that he did say he was going to attack within a week, or in a week's time. Something to that effect. He was talking to one of his generals. It only seems weird that today he attacks here, right after I scryed on him. Whether it was a fake out, we're not sure. But now here, he was also in the battlefield.
He was here?
I didn't see him. Oh, I mean, I saw him at a distance, but Namaris, you could tell him what you saw.
He was in his human form, and then he just turned around and disappeared.
So, he's testing us. Testing our defenses, our weaknesses, our strengths. Maybe testing how fast we can rebuild after such an attack.
Do you think he would be, on this sort of a subtle way, putting people within the city?
Anything is possible. An attack like this could pave the way for infiltration, I suppose. but does not seem his style. Seems very direct. I think it might be time to send some scouts out to see if maybe he's amassing another force somewhere else. Possibly. I can't really think straight right now.
Can we help you with
No, I will
Okay.
tend to them myself. But be rest assured that when the time comes, I will join you in the battle. I no longer have anything to lose. Everything that was worth anything to me lies there. That it nods towards the four bodies.
You have our deepest condolences. We've all lost people in this ordeal.
Yes, it seems that loss is something that binds us all. But it also makes us very strong. And at this point he stands, and the one thing you notice as he stands, that look of sorrow has almost completely disappeared and has been replaced with a burning anger. The look in his eyes almost glow in a yellowish red. Something you've not seen before. You remember him telling you, I think, maybe all of you, maybe, some of you may not have heard this, but he had spoken about that he once was a champion of Asmodeus, or a champion of the darker forces, and had made a deal with a devil to gain some dark power. As he stands there, he puts both hands down to his side and then looks at his, what you assume is his family, and utters, does any of you know Infernal?
Oof.
I know Sadiq does.
Yeah, I know.
And
Not on this creature.
Alice, Sonus, you have Infernal as well? Very quietly, you hear him mutter the words, "All shall pay, all shall join your army." And that's it. And then he turns and says to you in common, "Leave me to tend to them. I will send for you when my scouts have returned." And just again he walks over to where the bodies are and just stands, puts his head down and folds his hands in front of him. And you can see he's trembling a little bit. You can see he's angry. Extremely angry.
I'm just gonna give a bow and look at my team like, thank you for leaving.
Sorry to bother you at such a sensitive moment. Is there anything we can do?
And he doesn't respond. He just stands there silently.
I'll take that as a no.
So as you guys head back towards the house, the manservant was waiting. He didn't go fully inside, he was waiting at the door. As you head back towards the house, you do hear a shattering of stone all of a sudden, and as you turn, what you see is the remnants of a very crimson red force emanating from Korum's hands as he just has spun and turned. He was a large fountain that he was sitting at, and it is in hundreds of pieces, all over the back of his estate lawn, and this dark energy that seemed to streak from his hands, just obliterating the fountain. You continue to leave. You are escorted back to the main door. The manservant bows. You can see even he's probably been crying as well. He's got red eyes and looks upset. He looks like he's probably been with the family for quite some time. You've never met Corum's family. You've always been there on a sort of a business sort of thing. You've never actually seen them, but there is a portrait in the main hall, which you probably all have noticed and not really sort of taken too much notice of it. But you see Corum standing there with a elven woman. Hard to determine her age, obviously, being an elf. But they have 3 children. A daughter, who looks like she's probably the oldest, and 2 sons. The youngest of the sons looks like... Fiala would probably have more of an idea of a judgment of age, being that she is how old she is, and obviously using the guise of a wood elf as well. The youngest child probably looks maybe 20 or 30 years old, but that is very, very young for an elf. They tend to mature sort of into their 40s and 50s, so very young indeed. So young family. You then leave Corum's estate, and you head back out of the estate yourself, back into the street. What are you looking to achieve now? Are you heading back to the guild house? Or you said you were going to go help with displaced people, repairs, things like that?
Yeah.
Because it's still by this stage, probably looking around lunchtime-ish. By the time the battle had taken place, you'd gone to Corum's and that. It's been the course of sort of several hours. So as you sort of make your way towards probably the worst hit area of the city, there are people moving stones, looking for potential survivors in collapsed buildings, not unlike what you would see in an earthquake zone. Literally just buildings being destroyed by falling within. Others have been hit with fireballs and have been burnt down. Lots of people in the streets with injuries and just dazed look on their faces, confused, not sure exactly what has happened. But everyone seems to be mucking in, trying to search different buildings to make sure that everyone got out. You join the effort, and over the course of the next few hours, you find probably 5 or 6 people alive that have been trapped inside of buildings as they've collapsed. You do find several dozen dead, however, and those people are loaded into wagons and taken to the appropriate places to be stored until they're ready to be dealt with properly. Resub! What's up, Satan? So with that, by the close of the day, you were being approached by Breton, who has informed you that he'll be sending several scouts out in search for remains of this particular attack and maybe more potential threats. Holy shitballs.
Wow.
We've just had a whole bunch of gifted subs. 5 gifted subs by Satan, guys. Thank you very much, Mr. Satan. Devil horns to the Satan. What's up, brother? So we will call our session there, as you guys probably by the end of the day will retire back to the guild hall to find that the guild hall is relatively unscathed. It did get struck by a fireball and was dealt with relatively quickly. There is a bit of a hole in the front of the ceiling in the front, which was all storage area anyway, so it didn't really affect the main hall. Your guys' rooms were relatively unscathed. The training ground has been hit by a fireball as well, so most of the training dummies have been burnt to the ground, but nothing too major there. Seth is milling around dealing with the wounded, because there has been several wounded brought to the guild hall. That Seth is almost like a bit of a triage centre here as well. Lionel is milling around. There's ale, there's mead, there's all sort manner of food and that just been brought out continuously to help feed and deal with the people that are coming through. Really? Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think it's cutting out.
I'm not even sure why it does that.
It just
Yeah,
started.
it just went really weird then.
Because there's nothing running. I don't get it. I really don't.
Let's come back now then.
Anywho, so the guild house has been relatively untouched. You return to there, and you essentially will end it with you guys in the guild house, dealing with the wounded and everything else. So, chat, that is where we end our session tonight, as the Lions return to the guild hall after repelling a large-scale attack by what seems to be a demon attack of sorts. Kosis was seen on the battlefield briefly at the end. A sly grin across his face as he left through magical means, it seemed.
I would have liked to impale the prick with that ballista shot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you were ever actually going to be able to hit him, but it was worth a shot. Definitely. He's definitely a lot more powerful than you guys give him a credit. Probably not so much we give him credit, but he's definitely a powerful being. So, with that, chat, if you have any moments from tonight's session that stand out for you, either at me or at one of the mods, and I will read it out, or the mods, or one of the mods on screen will read it out, and we will address those in a moment. We're just going to get a few moments from the players themselves. Drax with the hits touching himself and Sadiq. We had to address that one because that one's definitely going to come up. But anyway, firstly, Alessandros, aka Mr. Trashman, a moment from you, please.
That's a hard one.
It wasn't a lot of RP tonight, so
I know, that's a hard one.
Yeah, there was some pretty cool moments. So.
I'd have to go with.
Doesn't have to be RP, so.
Namaris, the jumping into the fray.
Throwing herself off a 60-foot fucking stone wall, yeah, that was great. If she wasn't raging, it would have been a whole different kettle of fish, I think.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that really stuck out.
For you, no problem. That is your moment, Neymaris, aka Miss Nutty Tart. A moment from you, please.
I like Ali's reaction when I tackled her in the yard. That was pretty good.
A couple of unexpected moments from Neymaris tonight. A little bit out of character for Neymaris, but she has been through some trauma recently, so it is likely that she may have changed a little bit. I know she didn't use any of her paladin abilities tonight.
I was going to, but then realised I probably didn't need to.
Sure, that sounds fair. Mr. Sadiq, aka Mr. Pecker. Well, actually, Mr. Sadiq in the chat now. I recognise you're Mr. Pecker still in Skype. That's why I keep still doing it.
Yeah, it's slowly changing everything to Sadiq. Hets using, spawning the book and hitting stuff, and then I'd hit it with the ballista to kill it. Double teaming up.
Yes, that worked.
And then
rather well.
And then Namaris's Leroy Jenkins move. that was good.
Yeah.
I kind of sitting there going, "Oh shit!" She's gonna die.
Well, that's what I thought too. I was expecting it.
But yeah, as per usual, she survived. So,
yeah, well, it's definitely not Rhea, because if it was the other campaign, she would have died.
Yeah,
Twice,
or become unconscious. And Ildri, aka Miss Fiela, aka Miss Yao, Miss Yanti.
I like the arrow hitting Het's window, and I also like Het saying, "I know which way north is. I have a compass." We'll never let that one go.
Nope.
And I like the visual in my head of, Ali riding the back of a dragon and Namaris jumping off and all the battle visuals I could see in my head. That was my thing.
I mean, obviously we try and be as descriptive as we can of what's happening. So if people are getting those sort of images in their brain, we're doing a good job. Lastly but not leastly, Mr. Het, aka Orbazim.
Yes, there's a few for me. Nothing major because I don't like taking up all the chat at the end, but the Yildri rock transformation. So I thought, oh, she's turning into a rock bird. That's wonderful if she gets paralyzed. and then really not very much with it and transforming into a dragon soon thereafter.
Definitely.
Really the biggest standout for me, and I'd noted down the Mars jumping, I noted down Ali's shooting of the arrow and catching things on fire at my window, yada yada. But for me, it was the carpet bombing wyvern. The wyvern, your descriptive, not just your descriptive, but the idea of them actually coming through like World War I planes and just pa 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 pa. I thought that was really cool. So
yeah, I mean the idea behind that was pretty much the bombing of London. If anyone is a history buff and knows anything about the World Wars. The Germans bombing of London regularly. I kind of figured the air raid sirens, which was the city guard blowing their horns, letting people know that something's happening, and then just almost squadrons of 2 or 3 wyvern flying into the city and just hitting a fireball and then taking off and circling around doing it again. So obviously the ballista, having several ballista on the city walls, there would have been a lot going on. There would have been obviously a lot more wyverns than the ones that you were sort of at the north wall dealing with, and obviously the Garisto style beasts as well. So there would have been several breaches throughout the city, but it definitely worked better than I thought it would. Definitely, I wasn't 100% sure how we'd go about it with the hits and destroying them. But if we were going to try and take down 30 or so beasts with hit points, this would have been a freaking long fight. So I kind of wanted to speed it up a little bit and sort of have it seem like it was going on for a long time. So I think that sort of worked. Drax says, every time a ballista fired, I was hearing the sound of a catapult going off in the Asterix movies. I loved those movies. They were awesome. And Mr. Satan, yes, a big thank you to Satan with the gifted subs, 5 gifted subs just before, and a sub himself. So what have we got here? So we had Zero Beast, Grim Realities, White Iris, and Wisely Done gifted subs here as well. You guys all now have access to the emotes and all the cool bits and pieces. Don't forget, guys, you've got your channel points. If you're not a sub and you want to access the natural 20 or the natural 1 emote when a natural 20 and natural 1 is rolled, you can use your channel points to unlock that emote and use it as well. Uses of luck in that tonight. The one standout for me is the roasting chicken. Holy Jesus, man. Really? You don't have to do that, but thank you so much. Another 5 gifted subs from Mr. Satan. Unjust, Solid XL, Razor Blazed, and Strider Light with the subs. Satan,
spelled
dude.
His name wrong tonight.
I love your face, man. For those that don't know who, Natas 999 Natas 666. I've always called him Satan. It's obviously it's Satan backwards. Former Mixer streamer. Got to know him reasonably well over on Mixer. We used to raid each other and hang out in each other's chat a lot of the times. He stopped streaming through health issues and other problems, and then just hasn't really gone back to streaming. But it's good to see him back in the chat, and awesome.
Amen.
Always supported us, always hung out. He was my top donator over on Mixer for a year. I don't think anyone beat him over there. There was a bit of a donation war there going for a little bit, but Satan always come out on top. So. But dude, love your face, man. Good to see you back and obviously fit and well, hopefully. And thank you so much for the support, my friend. That puts us on 25 subs too, guys, just so you know.
Ooh.
Um,
Does that mean a new emote?
no, I don't get a new emote till I believe 35.
Damn it.
We already got the extra emotes for the 25 the last time we hit it, which I think Ala Dream helped us get. So yeah, 35 is the next goal before we get new emotes. But not about the subs, we're here about the follows and just you guys hanging out with us and enjoying our stories. So for me,
we were here for the follows either.
for
We're just here for the fun.
well, that too. For me tonight, obviously the Namaris, man, the two random moments. I'm going to get up and run down and tackle Alexandros just cause. Okay, the reasoning behind it was kind of cool, but unexpected. And then the jumping off of the wall was like, really? You want to jump off the wall 60 feet? And okay, fair enough. You're a barbarian, you're raging. Let's do it. Taking the damage like a trooper and then almost dying in the process. I mean, she did come, well, not really close. She was down to, I think, 35 hit points by the end of that. So she was relatively close to...
My back's creaking.
relatively close. But obviously the moments between Ildri and Het are always a standout point for me. Obviously the frozen room and things like that, which was again Ildri's idea. Michelle came to me with that idea. She wanted to transform her room. I thought, hey, it's your room, go for it. Things like that. So RP.
Hey guys, we can do up our rooms.
What would you
Ads are
think
your
I'm
rooms,
gonna
so if you
do?
want to do them up, you can.
I already smashed mine once. You know.
Yeah, true. So X penis for tonight.
Hex penis?
We're going to give you X penis for this evening. That particular battle, I didn't actually have an encounter builder for it because I'd made it up myself. But I did set a CR rating and I did set a XP for it. So you will all get 4,200 XP each for the battle. And we'll give you another bonus 1,500. So 5,700 total for the RP and everything else for tonight. So 5,700.
Danke.
Can we just have another 15?
No.
Please?
Minus 15 for you?
No.
Oh, minus 2 levels. Okay.
No.
So that is your X penis for this evening. Chat, was there any... we had one moment, Drax did point out the amount of nat 20s rolled tonight, and there was a few. I don't know if any of the mods were keeping track of the natural 20s that were rolled tonight, but there was definitely a few. But I think
I believe there was a few nat ones as well.
There was a few nat ones as well, definitely.
Yes.
Quite upset no one shot Allie off a ballista.
She was too busy flying on a dragon cam.
She was on a dragon, dude. Like Allie was on a dragon.
If she'd got close enough, I would have done it.
But yeah. So we're gonna raid. Who are we gonna raid, guys? We're gonna pass on a lot. We've had 2 raids tonight. One from Twin Gats, one from Thoughtless Doom. Another 2 former Mixer streamers come over to Twitch. Always been a big supporter of the channel, so good to see those guys popping in from time to time. I think there was more nat 1s and nat 20s, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't keeping track. But if I say Drax or Roastin, if you guys are in and you want to keep track of those things, by all means keep track. And we can definitely point that out at the end of the show.
But that means I have to do it on a Wednesday night.
Yes, it would. Exactly.
I suppose I can.
What we can possibly do, we can make it a little interesting too. We might give out an inspiration. If you can keep track of who rolls those rolls too, I know it might be a little difficult, but if you can keep track of who rolls nat 20s and who rolls nat 1s, the person with the most nat 20s will get an inspiration. And the person that rolls the most nat 1s will have to come up with a booby prize.
Should be the other way around.
I think they need the
Actually, yeah, okay. So the person with the most nat 1s gets inspiration, the person with nat 20s gets a luck.
Yeah, that's
everyone gets something out of it. But yeah, most nat 20s on a session will get a free luck from the DM, and the one with the nat 1s will get a free inspiration. Exactly. So who are we going to
You
raid,
haven't
guys?
played
Anyone
the
got any
roller.
ideas? I'll throw it out to chat first. If you got someone that you watch, it doesn't have to be a D&D stream, but if you've got someone you watch that you like to watch, you want to give them a bit of support,
Cool.
let me know, and we will raid them.
It's like Keo's streaming.
Drax just gave Alessandra some luck. Technically, that shouldn't count because the session's finished, but we'll allow it. So, nobody in chat has a Keo stream? Oh, it's Keo streaming.
Yep.
Ooh. Wonder how close she is to finishing, though.
She didn't usually go through till like midnight, 1
Are you sure
o'clock,
she's
didn't she?
streaming? It's not on my list. I'm following her.
Oh no, maybe not. It's
No,
not.
you can't,
it's-
Kim.
No,
No,
offline it
No,
is.
she'll be offline.
We're not
yeah.
even supposed to be
Sometimes
able
it
to
doesn't
redeem points
refresh.
for our own campaigns.
Can you redeem points for your own character? Hell no. You can
That's
try,
fine.
but what'll probably happen is a strange disease will come over your character and you'll lose that particular benefit anyway.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to Adok for Wednesday night, because technically it's not in this campaign.
Yeah, you technically can't do that
Loopholes.
either. It has to be on the current session. But again, like I said, I will allow that just once, only once. So no one's got any raid suggestions in the chat. Come on, guys. Anyone you watch?
Sheriff Dan's on, and that's it.
Yeah,
you
so
watch
Sheriff
Dan?
Dan's
I
on as
usually
well.
do Sheriff Dan too.
Friendly, he is on.
Yeah, those guys are they've gone a bit weird.
There's
friendly
Miss
guy.
Z.
Yeah, Miss C's on. She's playing Ark Evolved. We haven't raided her for a long time. Let's raid her.
So Sneaky Sneaklings is also on.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a D&D stream. We'll raid
Fletch finished?
Yeah, Fletch finished ages ago.
It looks like it's a quiet Sunday night.
Yeah, well, she's usually got a lot more in than that.
Oh well, shall we take our lot to her?
We'll raid Miss C, guys. Miss C is a Aussie streamer playing Ark Evolved. She does a lot of stuff. She was a recipient of not a recipient, a nomination for top Aussie streamer of the year before Mixer closed down. So last year, or year before, her and Duke of Flukes were both nominated for top streamer, Mixer streamer of the year. Duke won it, but Missy was a runner-up. So both awesome streamers, but Missy is pretty cool. You go check her out. We're going to start the raid. The raid started. We're going to say goodnight, and we will see you guys on Wednesday for Curse of Strahd. Keep an eye on the Discord and in the Twitter, and we will maybe get some gaming streams in during the week as well. But until then, ciao for now.